Hello and welcome everyone to the 9th episode of Hi-Qel's Pop Talk. I'm your co-host Daniel.
And I'm your co-host Alan.
And today we have quite a lot of stuff to talk about, to be honest, and it might be a longer episode. I like how last time I said it was going to be a short episode and it ended up being literally like our longest because of the PlayStation stuff.
Watch this be our shortest now that you said it's going to be long.
I that really should have just been, looking back, really should have just been like the PlayStation thing, but it's okay. Stuff happens, but
we learn and we grow as podcasters.
Yes, you do.
We're still very early on into this. This is only the 9th episode.
Yeah, because it would have been like our 10th or 11th, but
it would have been about our 11th by now.
Yeah. We both have had crazy life stuff happen. Some good, some bad. Oh, I guess not bad, but just stuff, right? But we're back, and hopefully this time, like I said last time, we'll actually be consistent. So yeah, we will see. But let's go ahead and break down everything we're going to be talking about. In our gaming segment, we're going to be discussing the Geforce leak, which happened last week, but again, we've kind of been like away, so we're just now getting to it, but still like really interesting. Lot of really like big implications about that. We're also going to be talking about the Star Wars Tales from Galaxy Edge VR game trailer announcement. That was pretty cool. Destroy All Humans 2 remake, which we'll get into that. Pretty awesome. A new game called Level Zero. It's a horror game, looks freaking terrifying. So that's our gaming segment.
Very spoopy.
Yes, very spoopy. In our movie/TV segment, we're going to be breaking down the Hawkeye trailer, which dropped also last week, but pretty much like threw me for a loop. I was like, oh wait, what? Okay, we're just dropping it? Okay. Kind of a shadow drop, pretty cool. And then this is probably going to take up a majority of the podcast, but we're going to be going full in on Star Wars Visions, all 9 episodes. We're going to be talking about.
So this is a spoiler alert.
Yeah,
if you
spoiler
have not
alert.
Seen it, don't listen to this podcast until you have.
Yeah.
Or at least not that part.
Yeah. Oh yeah. And then in our anime segment, we are going to be going all in on the Cowboy Bebop live action series. I know it's live action, but we're still putting it in anime because it is based off the anime. So that wraps up, or it doesn't wrap up, but that's everything we're going to be talking about today. Alan, how has the past couple of weeks been? Because it's, like I said, we missed a week because of a little bit of craziness, but we are back. So yeah, how you been, man?
It's been kind of crazy. As Daniel mentioned, we've had some life things come up, and for those of you that have been listening and following my journey with losing and finding another job, I start that tomorrow, which today is Sunday that we are recording this, and Monday is when I start my job. So that's going to be nice, being employed, having money again, being able to provide and do stuff with that. But other than that, I've been doing a little gaming, a little bit of watching stuff. I hate to admit this, but I watched all 9 episodes of Star Wars Visions the day it dropped.
I would have too, but I fell asleep.
I was obsessed with that shit. Oh my god. And then I've been, still on my PS2 grind, and with the announcement of the Destroy All Humans 2 remake, that week THQ was having a sale on Steam, and I picked up the first one's remake for like $5, and so I've been playing through that, and I told you a little bit about this a minute ago, but we've my group has also gotten into this horror game that's been out for a while, but we really didn't get on it until recently. It's called Devour. It's kind of similar to Phasmophobia, if anybody's ever played that. But in my opinion, it's better in every aspect.
Ooh, shots fired.
Phas like gets a little boring to me at times, and so I think that there's Devour holds my attention span a lot more because you get in and there's secrets around the map you can find. So that's one thing that you can do. Then you have your actual objective of, and the first map is Farmhouse, and that's the one that's been out for like since the game's been out. And there's a ghost on the inside, and all you know is some cult leader was trying to summon a demon, and it took over her body, right? And so you have to walk through this house and find all of the demonic goats that have spawned because of the demon, and you have to sacrifice them. And as you sacrifice them, the ghost gets more and more violent and more quick. Like, and in the beginning, when the ghost is chasing after you, you can normally outrun it. But once you sacrifice like 5 or 6 goats, that motherfucker is running you down. You're not getting away from her.
Oh, jeez.
And it's terrifying. The jump scares are scary. The way that they work proximity chat is scary because like you'll hear somebody get killed by her and then she'll take them to another part of the map where you can revive them, and you'll just hear and it's just so funny to hear them just fade into the fucking distance. And so like the game is really fun. If there's any horror freaks out there, I definitely recommend it, especially with the month of October right on our heels.
Yeah, holy crap, dude. Yeah, that's crazy. I just like snuck up on us. Gotta get into the spooky
But
mood.
that's pretty much all I've been up to. Daniel, what you been getting into? You been playing any games lately?
Yes. I don't know if I mentioned it last time. Maybe I did, but did I talk about beating Psychonauts 2?
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah,
all right. Never mind. So since then, I actually started Horizon Zero Dawn.
Oh,
and
bro.
Man, really,
how are you liking it?
Really like this game. I was not expecting to like it as much as I am liking it. I don't know. I just, like I said, I kind of like fell off of the exclusives from PlayStation for a while after getting into PC stuff. But like, dude, like, it is.
Are you playing it on your PS5 or on the PS4?
Yeah, I'm playing it on my PS5, and
sick.
It is because it just had like the 60 FPS patch, and I could have gotten it on PC, but I just, for whatever reason, like I didn't. And they were giving it away for the little play at home initiative they were doing, to get people to like stay inside and stuff. So they gave it away, and I was like, okay, cool, I'll pick it up. And then like at the PlayStation thing,
60 FPS.
Okay. I was like, okay, well shoot, let me go ahead and jump into it.
Let me play this shit. Yeah,
dude, bro. Okay, I'm like, okay,
bro.
Okay,
I love that game.
Yeah, it's
as soon as I started that game, I grinded the piss out of it.
Yes, I really, and like the story is like the main thing that I'm really interested in. Just like what's going on, like it. I like the fact that
wait till you get to the end,
bro. Like my brother was telling me about it. He was like, "Yo, just wait. You're in for a ride." I'm like, I'm ready.
You are.
I'm ready for it.
I'm
ready.
You're in for a hell of a ride. How far into it are you?
Man, I think I just got to like the second area. So
you've gotten to the open world aspect of it.
Yeah. Like
okay.
The Karja thing. I literally just opened the gate. So yeah, I'm about to go even more in, but I just been in the introductory sections.
Yeah, man.
Been doing
I'm
that.
Happy for you. I'm glad that you've been playing that. That game is
so
phenomenal.
Great. So great.
And it's gonna get you ready for the fucking sequel.
I'm saying I wasn't even. I didn't really. Not that I didn't care, but I saw Forbidden West. I'm like, oh yeah, cool. Horizon. But now I'm like, okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
Now you ready.
Yeah.
Now you know how good the game is, and you're ready to see how they expand upon that.
Yeah. And I've definitely like, I could definitely see. I'm noticing a lot more the graphical jump, because at first like I was like, okay, like this kind of, when they showed the gameplay reveal for Forbidden West, I was like, this looks pretty much like the first one. But it's not until like the first one looks really good, but like the second one looks way better. And like I'm noticing it a lot more, especially with the facial animations, because I'll be honest, facial animations are a little jank. Just with like kind of the way the expressions are, they're kind of like really like jumpy, kind of like twitchy and stuff, but like they really did like a really good job.
But it's pretty
like,
good for the most part, right?
Yeah, it definitely is. It's probably a lot better on Aloy, just because she's like the main character. But like they look like everything looks good, really good. It's just the facial animations, but yeah, really liking it. And then on the side note, I've also been getting back into Destiny 2 with my brother and my cousin, and I'm hoping to maybe wrap you into that.
Man, I've been thinking about getting back into it.
Yeah, dude, I'm like slowly started to like get sucked into it, and I'm liking it. I'm liking it. So that's about it on the gaming side. I got a cat this week. On Monday, and that has been.
That's been a handful, hasn't it? No,
yeah,
I'm just kidding.
Bro.
Cats aren't even hard.
No, not hard, but I did have a little bit of a scare. We were gonna record earlier this week, and post this episode earlier, but when I got my cat, she actually ended up having a URI, upper respiratory infection, and it wasn't like. She wasn't like sick, but she was she just was kind of like a little congested. She was sneezing a little bit, and like, so it wasn't that bad. But me, and I always overreact and freak out about little things anyway. So whenever she was like, like sniffling and stuff, I'm like, oh my god, oh geez, oh god, and like I literally called up the freaking called up the ER, like the pet ER, or I forget what it was, but like I was like, yeah, my cat, da, da, da. They're like, okay, like just talking me through it. I'm like, and then Wednesday, I took her to the vet, and they're like, yeah, she just has this. Give her some antibiotics, she'll be all right. And I'm like, oh, okay. But because of that, like I wasn't like sleeping really well, like really at all. Because of that, and just because like she just was like all up like on my bed and stuff, and like I'm going to sleep, and she's like, oh well, actually no, it's time to play. And I'm just like, oh
actually you're not.
Yeah, actually you're not.
Claw you in the face.
Yeah, claw me in the face, claw me in the freaking
in the
head. She called me pretty bad on my thigh last night. That felt great. And she actually got really close to clawing me, or clawed me close to like my this might be TMI, clawed me close to my nipple area.
Balls.
That was that felt terrible.
Man, well, really, that's better than any other area that could have clawed you at, though.
Yeah. Yeah. Oh my gosh, dude. But yeah, she has been, other than that, she's been super awesome. And it's just, that whole thing has been like I've just been getting used to having like a pet at my apartment.
Yeah.
So actually, like, wasn't like for the first half of the week, I wasn't really gaming or doing anything.
Just taking care of the cat.
Yeah, just watching over
and
it now.
Playing with it.
Yeah. But now she's good, so I've kind of gotten back into my schedule.
Yeah.
Which is cool. So, but yeah, that's pretty much.
And like, I'm a firm believer of everybody should own a pet, whether it be a cat or a dog.
Yeah,
I'm not one of those people that's like, I solely like dogs or I solely like cats, because I love my cats.
Yeah.
But if you're like, yo, would you rather you can only pick one, what would you rather get right now, a cat or a dog? I'm choosing a dog every time.
Yeah.
Like, I just love my big pupper.
Big pupper, yeah. Because of how I am, I would probably lean more towards cats, just because I'm like a chilled chiller person.
Yeah,
Actually,
yeah,
I say I'm a chiller person.
Cats are very vibey and laid back. They don't need much attention. They want attention for about 5 minutes, and then they're gonna go fuck off and lay in the corner.
Yeah, well,
turn your back to you and act like you don't exist.
You say that. Mine is actually like, she wants a lot of attention sometimes. Like even when I think, oh, you just want like something to eat.
You just want food.
I give her something to eat, and then she's like, she looks at it, and then she's like, meow, and then I'm like, oh, okay, what? Okay, so we're like, I want to say like, she cuddled up to me like for like 30 minutes straight when I was trying to play the Halo Infinite thing, which is that's something else I actually forgot. So yeah, the freaking this weekend and next weekend is they have another Halo Infinite technical preview. So I've actually been playing that this weekend as well. But it sucks.
Is that for everybody, or is that for people who just or is that for people who only pre-order the game, or content makers or something?
No, there was actually you can still.
I'm not cool like you.
No, you can still get into it actually.
Because I was thinking about that. Maybe we should get into that together. That would be pretty fun. Little introductory back into the Halo franchise for me, because like I said, I haven't played one since ODST.
Oh yeah. Well, okay, so the cutoff time for this weekend and next weekend is already passed, but you could probably get into the next one, and I'll show you. You just got to get into the little insider program and just make sure your stuff is up to date, because I actually only got into the Xbox One because I didn't realize, but they weren't giving out codes to people whose specs didn't meet the minimum requirements. And my old file, this is the last thing I'm gonna say because I'm going off topic a little bit, but like the last time I opted in, it had the specs for my old computer, which I don't think didn't meet the recommended specs. So I mean, I was able to get in the last technical preview, but I wasn't able to get into this one. But I think it's because of the graphics card that I used on my old computer. So I updated that, and I hopefully should be able to get into the PC version next week. So I've only been able to play the Xbox One. So, but it's still been like, it's still really, really fun. They actually let you play against like real people this time, which is really, really cool. But it also sucks sometimes because it's like, oh, you might get your ass kicked.
Yeah.
By the sweats. But yeah, that is officially been my week. I forgot about that last thing. So
well, that's cool, man.
Yeah.
I'm looking forward to hearing more about your kitty in the future and seeing it grow and stuff. But let's go ahead and get into our first topic here with our games and stuff. I know that we just spent a minute on that.
Yeah, a minute on the introductions.
But we needed to catch up and inform you guys of some things. It's been a minute. We're very on and off with our episodes here, and we just felt we needed to explain why.
Yeah, consistency is coming. Just
bear with us.
Yeah, bear with us.
But our first topic is about God of War. It was actually discovered in the NVIDIA Geforce Now database.
Yes,
which could potentially mean God of War's coming to PC.
Yeah, no, I'm willing to bet it's all but confirmed. Like, I think this is going to be announced in the next couple of months.
I really hope, because I would 100% replay the new God of War on PC again.
Yeah.
Like, I 100% of that shit on PlayStation, but I would absolutely play it again on PC. There was a lot of people that talked shit about that game and said it was a disappointment, and I disagree with every single one of you. It was fun.
That's, I guess if you're a diehard, I can see maybe diehards, but yeah, like, so.
No, it wasn't even, well, I mean, it was some diehards, and it was some people that was just like, oh, I don't like that this is how the combat style is now, and I don't like that the story is in a different mythology. And it was like, dude, what else were they going to do in Greek mythology? He killed all the gods. What were they supposed to do next? Were they supposed to like just slaughter the human race? Like, what do you want?
Yeah.
And so they had to move to a different area.
Yeah, that's a good point.
But I love it. The only thing that I am kind of disappointed about with the new Norse mythology chapter of God of War is that they've been spouting trilogy this whole time, and it's going to only be a duology.
Yeah, that's weird. How I guess maybe it's just because I'm so used to trilogies and games and movies.
Yeah.
So, I mean, it'll be interesting to see how they wrap everything up in like the sequel, you know? And it's kind of like, I guess that's kind of like admirable if you think about it, because most people would like stretch that crap out and, you know, like flesh it out more. But I guess, you know, their writers and like all their people got that crap on lock, and they're able to tell a story in 2 games. Like, okay, like, major props.
There is a huge rumor out right now that the next mythology that they're going to jump to is either Egyptian or Japanese.
Yeah.
And that was just because of some of the content that was in that's been alluded to by the creators of the game, and some of the content that was found at the end of the first God of War. That pertains to some of the stuff there.
Yeah, I remember my friend, or like a couple of my friends, were actually saying that it could be the Japanese because of what they saw in the game. I don't know what that is.
I think that would be sick if they did the next, like, whatever God of War duology, trilogy, whatever they're gonna do. Like, if they did that in the Japanese mythology, I think that would be sick.
Yes, dude. Yes.
Or even Chinese, like with Sun Wukong and all that shit.
Oh shoot, yeah. that would be good.
Dude, really what if they did that? What if they had the Sun Wukong game, right?
Yeah.
And then they mixed Kratos into it, and that was like the big fight of God of War. Is like, you've built up Sun Wukong through all these Sun Wukong games, and now all of a sudden Kratos is about to come whoop his ass. That would be sick. Yeah, that'd be crazy. They're never gonna do that. That's not how that's gonna go at all.
Yeah. So God of War was like the main thing from this article, like the main, I guess, like draw. But there was actually a ton of stuff that got leaked through this thing. And, you know, some of it might not be true, but a lot of it is very, very interesting. And like, there's a lot, dude. Like,
and I'll be honest with you, man, I've been kind of waiting for something like this to come out ever since me and you talked about in the podcast of all the different what was it, the company that Sony or PlayStation rather just got in cahoots with, that is going to be specifically known for porting games from console to PC.
Nixus.
So yeah. And so I have been waiting for this kind of announcement that, oh, here comes a whole shitload of fucking PlayStation games to PC. I've been waiting for that announcement. I really didn't expect it to be this soon.
Yeah.
Because I think it was like a month or 2 ago that we were talking about that.
Yeah, but bro, like as soon as they said that, I was like, it's all but like, and I said this in like one of my videos a while ago. Is like, they're about to go all in on PC. And what happened at the last PlayStation thing? Uncharted 4 on the PC.
Yep, on PC.
Right? This
and then, oh, I'm sorry. Go ahead.
Oh no, what were you gonna say?
I was gonna say, and then plus Coder, that remake is being remade for PlayStation and PC.
Yeah. Well, I mean that. Yeah. I mean, like, oh, I'm talking about like their exclusives though. That's the big thing. Like
they already have Horizon on there.
Yeah. That's another Days Gone.
They did Days Gone. Yeah.
So it's like, yeah.
And a lot of people said that port for Days Gone played a lot better than the console version of Days Gone.
Yeah.
So like, it's becoming a point where they're porting PS4 games and they're being better on PC than they were on the PlayStation, which in all reality that makes sense, because we've literally got the best fucking, you know, gear in our PCs that doesn't compare to the shit that they're putting in the PlayStations right now. So like, of course, our $2,000 computer is going to run better than a $400 console.
Yeah. But like, dude, there was, in terms of like the Sony side, there was a lot of stuff. Like, I'm telling you, dude, there was a lot. Some stuff, they even had stuff in here that was like just unannounced games, like really spoilerly, like leaky type stuff. But in terms of like the Sony thing, they had Horizon Forbidden West was on there, Returnal, Ratchet and Clank could be ripped apart maybe, Ghost of Tsushima, Gran Turismo 7, bunch of stuff. And then they had like a bunch of leaks, bunch of other leaks to like I said, unannounced games like Gears of War. I mean, Gears of War was, you know, probably gonna be on there, but like stuff like Kingdom Hearts, right?
Yeah.
Like a bunch of stuff. Like I can't even look at the entire list because I don't want to be like spoiled on future like possible announcements. But it's just like they like kind of dropped the ball, dude. Like with the fact that somebody was able to go in and just find all of this stuff, and he just put it out. Like you can watch the video, and he's literally looking through it, and he pulls it up in real time, the Geforce Now link with God of War, and it literally says Steam. Like it's right there. It is right there, dude. So that's why I'm like, yo, this is gonna be announced very soon, because if you think about it, and this is what a guy Spawncast, or not Spawncast, Spawnwave, a YouTuber named by the name of Spawnwave, he said this a lot. I watch him a lot. So shout outs to Spawnwave and Spawncast. But one of the things he talks about is like, you know, releasing a PC port right before the new game comes out on PS5. It's like advertisement, you know, like with Horizon Zero Dawn, that came out on the PC. The new one's about to come out. People play it on PC. They're like, oh wow, the new one's coming out. It's on PS5. Let me buy a PS5. My bad. What were we gonna say?
I was saying Forbidden West is in this list.
Exactly,
that
right?
Gonna be on that is going to be on the NVIDIA GeForce.
Yeah, there's a ton of stuff, but like, you know, this could hint possibly at potential sequels that they're trying to like draw more attention towards, because we had Uncharted 4, right, on the PC. What if, I'm not saying anything, but what if that means we might be getting an Uncharted 5 maybe? What if they're putting this out, Uncharted 4 out, to get more interest from the PC crowd over to PlayStation? You know, it's the same thing with God of War. Like, why else would you release God of War 3 years later, right? I mean, you can, you're gonna get like money from it, but you also want to do it to gauge interest for the sequel. It makes like so much sense, because people are gonna go out and, like I said, buy a PlayStation so they can play it, and then if they like it enough, then they'll buy it again when it comes out to PC later. You know, so they're double dipping.
Yeah, and so like, I feel like this is also going to be really good for all these PlayStation studios, because now you're not only going to have the people that have just exclusively a PlayStation playing this. Like you said, people who have PlayStation and PC might end up buying the game twice if it's good enough. Yeah. And then you have people who just have exclusively PC, and then they don't know what to do. So like you're hitting a whole new market of people now that they're going to be able to make money off of. Yeah, exactly. And like, if you're Sony, which might in turn make their exclusives significantly better than what they are right now. Not saying that they're trash by any means, but like, you know, more money makes it to where more shit can be implemented into the game and more time can be spent on it because they have the money to do so. Yeah. I mean, they already spend a bunch of time and money on their stuff now. Yeah, it's like you said, like, imagine if they had, some of these games had like another, you know, $1 million or whatever. You know what I mean? Like, or if they get lucky enough, like Rockstar with GTA, they have a whole $1 billion to work on the fucking next one. Yeah, oh my gosh, dude, that game is gonna be nuts if it ever comes out. When it eventually ever comes. I'll be honest with you, man. Mm-hmm. I hope it doesn't. I hope it doesn't for 10 years. I want them to come out with new original shit.
That's fair.
I don't want a new GTA right now. I want them to put something else out. I want them to do like an LA Noire 2. I want them to do a Bully 2. I want them to do
That's fair.
something else that's not GTA.
Yeah.
I hate to be like this because like everybody and their mother wants this game, but I just don't.
Yeah.
Stop.
No, you are not the only one in like that sentiment. I know a lot of people who want them to bring back stuff like Bully and like Midnight Club, right? Y'all remember Midnight Club? That was Rockstar. Yeah, like they didn't just it wasn't
Rockstar just, man, I don't know. Like I've been talking to my friends a lot about this and I get really frustrated thinking about it because like as I went back and I was playing those PS2 games, I realized that video games were way better back then than they are now. And like I know that may sound as a shock to a lot of people, but just let me fucking explain myself. PS2, back in the day, they did a lot of movie games, like the Spider-Man movies, the Batman
a lot of licensed
movie,
games.
the Batman animated show, a lot of licensed games. And they did that Star Wars one as well. And a lot of those games were just like, oh, hey, you're going to play through the fucking story of the movie. And they were like, oh, who are we going to get to voice act this? Duh, the fucking actor of the movie.
Yeah.
How did we not, what happened? The games back then had such a fun linear structure, and they were also pretty raunchy back then. I gotta admit, there were some raunchy fucking PS2 games, but like just the way that some of the games went is just so much more fun than what we have now. Like I find myself going back and playing these PS2 games and enjoying myself more than I have on any Call of Duty up to recent dates.
Yeah, there's definitely. I will say I slightly disagree. I think there are pros and cons to both, like newer games and older games. But the one thing I will say about the older games, the older PS2 games, is PS2 had like a lot of variety, right? There was
a lot.
There was so many different types of games coming out, like nobody's
originality,
business.
man.
Yeah, original stuff.
And then like not only that, but Rockstar was pumping out games like every fucking year. They put 2 games out in 1 year one time.
Yeah, because
2 different GTAs, Liberty City Stories and Vice City Stories, came out in 2003.
Yeah.
Both of them.
Yeah.
What happened, Rockstar? What happened?
GTA 5 or GTA in general just made more and more. The problem is a lot of these games, and I know we're going off topic, but a lot of newer games, they are spending so much like money, like so much like more time, like development time and money on it, is like that's why you're only seeing like one GTA every like millennia, right? Yeah. Or you're only seeing with God of War, like let's go back to God of War. God of War, when did God of War, how big of a gap was there between God of War 2018 and the last original style God of War? Wasn't it like...
Okay, so I think the last God of War was God of War Ascension, which came out after God of War 3. So hold on, let me look this up real quick. I'm getting on the Wikipedia.
Yeah, but it was a minute, right?
It
was a minute.
So yeah, Ghost of Sparta came out 2010. Then God of War Ascension came out in 2013, and that was it on that. And then the second came out in 2018, so it was 5 years.
Yeah, so that's why you're the thing I'm getting at is like, I mean, if you look at God of War, it's 2018. You could tell it's a big, like they spent a lot of money and time on it, right?
Yeah.
But you just, I mean, if you look at PS2 games, they were a lot more simple. And because of like their simplicity, developers were able to get more games out in a year. That's why they were able to put out stuff, like Rockstar, 2 games out in a year, right? Or, a couple of games thrown out there. Or, whenever what was it? The 6th, that was the 6th generation of consoles. That's why you had so many like really good launch games, is because like developers just weren't spending a bunch of time and money. And I think if they didn't do that, we would see a lot more games come out, a lot more variety.
Yeah.
Now the variety is a tough thing because, like, on one hand you do want to see new IPs, but on the other hand, like, you know, like, it is kind of like the age of remasters, and it's kind of our fault, not me and you, but like, you know, for buying them, like consumers for buying them and stuff. And the thing is like, these remasters are good, and you know, like, there's a lot of remasters that I still want to see, you know, and there's nostalgia really sells, dude. So I think that's kind of the other thing. But there is still good, like, original stuff out there, you know, like, we just look at all the stuff they announced at the PlayStation thing, you know, like Project Eve, that Radiohead game.
There's just I see what you're saying, but there's just like, there was a lot on PlayStation 2 that I go back and play, and I'm like, man, this game is so good. Why have they not done another game in this same style? Why are they trying so hard to push, well, for one, battle royales down our throats? Why are they pushing so hard to have GTA for the 80 millionth time down our throat? Why are we creating the same sports game every year? Like, talk about unoriginality. EA and 2K's been doing that for fucking years. Sorry to all the EA and 2K fans, but like, they're not original at all. They change the roster and they update the graphics barely. And then when they come out, they still release like shit sometimes.
No, they're with you,
going
dude.
back to like Bully, you know, on the PlayStation 2, not Scholarship Edition, the on launch game. If you do all of the side missions and the main missions, not even like going around and collecting all the cards, collecting all the rubber bands, all of the extra shit that you can do, all the secrets, not that, just the side missions and main missions. It is a 25-hour game. And so you take that, and then you also have to take into effect that they created AI in Bully, where how in Red Dead Redemption 2, you can go up to other townsfolk and talk to them, and you can interact with them in a positive way or a negative way, and depending on how you interact with them, they will interact back with you in a positive or negative light, and it might end up where they're just like, hey, I'll remember your face, and they remember your character's name or whatever, and you can say hi to him again, or you end up fighting that person because you're an asshole. And we saw that very first in Bully, and we didn't see it again until Red Dead Redemption 2. So I feel like Bully was just a way ahead of its time game, and I want another game like that.
Maybe one day.
But that's a little off topic.
We went way off topic.
I didn't mean to take that far, but I just I don't know. I get aggravated thinking about that, like how they should make more games that are based off of movies again. But
well,
I don't know.
You shouldn't have to worry, because our next game is a game based off of a movie, which is Star Wars. Did you like that? You like how I did that?
Yeah, I did like that.
I was thinking about I was working on it. Okay, so
you're connecting the dots.
Yeah, man. This next game is Star Wars Tales from Galaxy's Edge. It's a VR game. And I'm not usually a VR guy. I've tried VR. It's pretty cool, but I don't know. I've just like never gotten into it. But I gotta say, for a VR game, it looks good, right? Yeah, this looks good. And like, usually VR games don't look good either. That's the thing. Like, okay,
they look like a little derpy, right?
Yeah. I see, the way I said that made it seem like all VR games suck. That is not what I meant to say.
No, I knew exactly what you meant. Like, they look a little goofy sometimes, just because like it's your own hands and you're able to do whatever with it, and so it looks a little goofy sometimes.
Well, usually it's like, because of like the way VR works, and they have to like keep a certain frame rate, like they aren't able to like push the graphics, and like they're not doing anything crazy with the graphics or whatever, but you know, it's presentation wise, it looks good. Like, it doesn't, I
think it looks super fun.
Yeah, it definitely looks like a fun time. And I mean, if I had an Oculus, I'd pick this up. I like Star Wars, you know?
Man, one thing that I am super like interested in this game for is this is for those of you that have been to Disneyland or Disney World parks, Galaxy's Edge is what they call the Star Wars part of their parks.
Yeah.
And so this is basically a story mode to the parks, and this is going to be canon in the Disney universe. Because it's based off of Disney World and Disneyland. And so now, after this game comes out, it kind of sucks because I think a lot of people aren't going to get the references because not everybody is available to VR yet. But there will be little references and little voice lines, I guess you can say, said around the Galaxy's Edge part from this game now. And I think that that's just really cool how they're incorporating that into the park.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. It's... Yeah. Like, looking at this makes me a little bit more... I don't know, like, VR has kind of, like, come back into my radar just because of... there's this guy...
Well, it's getting more and more affordable. Whereas, like, all the VR headsets used to be, like, $1,000. Now they're starting to, like, drop them down to be, like, like the Quest and the Quest 2 are obtainable VR systems.
Yeah.
And I've been actually thinking about getting the Quest for a minute.
Oh, yeah. And even, like, not even the... What was it, like, the very first one that came out again? It was Valve's?
Was it the Vive?
Yeah, the Vive wasn't...
HT Vive?
Yeah. Not the Vive. There was, like, another one, I think.
So there's the Vive, the Oculus, the Quest, and then the Valve Index, and then...
Maybe it was the...
And then, of course, the PlayStation VR, but that isn't really necessary to talk about since that's not compatible with PC, or at least I don't think it is.
Yeah. Man, it was... I honestly forget, but... way back when I first played VR, my friend had told me he had gotten his headset for, like, $400. And to me, I was like, okay, like, that's not $1,000, you know? Like, that's actually,
yeah.
I was expecting it to be $1,000. So when he told me that, I was like, oh, so they haven't been, like, too terribly expensive. But yeah, like, I think the Quest is, like, close to even, like, 300 something.
Yeah.
It's pretty cheap.
The Quest is very, very obtainable and affordable. Like I said, if I'm gonna go and pay $400 for a fucking PlayStation 5, I can easily pay $400 for a VR, something that I'll probably play more.
Yeah. And, like, yeah, some of the stuff...
And plus, like, PC has got all these multiplayer VR games coming out, so, like, my friend Jackson just got VR, so me and him could get into a whole load of shit, Pavlov and anything like that.
Yeah, and even, like, you can... The really cool thing I like is, like, you can play, like, games that aren't in VR, if that makes it easy. Like, you could play, I've seen people play, like, older games, like, stuff on the Super Nintendo, like, in VR, and it's just cool. Yeah. You can, like, look around and stuff, so, yeah.
You can play
like,
Faz in VR.
Yeah, you can play that. You can play a lot of stuff.
God,
so
I wouldn't do
there's
it.
VR chat.
New Resident Evil in it.
Oh, Resident Evil.
Resident Evil 7. Yeah, I wouldn't play that in it, but you can.
Yeah, I've been on the fence on whether or not, like, I would actually play that game because, like I said, that game is, like, literally probably the scariest game I've ever played. So I would imagine playing it in VR would be like.
But as far as this VR title goes, though, if I had a VR, I would definitely want to pick it up because it looks like they're going to take it in the same direction that they built Luke in the original movies. It looks like you're going to start off with blasters and you're going to level up enough to be like, oh shit, my guy has the Force. Oh shit, that means I'm a Jedi. Or Sith, maybe. Yeah. And then we saw, like, in the trailer where someone is playing it and using the Force to assemble their lightsaber. Yeah, that looks dope.
That's tight.
That's sick.
Yeah.
And then we get to see them training with the lightsaber and then actually fighting stuff with the lightsaber. And so that looks really cool.
Yeah.
But yeah, I'm I'm pretty excited for this, especially if all the missions are based around Galaxy's Edge or the planet that Galaxy's Edge resides in.
Yeah,
which
most
is
definitely.
Batu.
Most definitely. Do you got anything else you wanna touch on?
No, I think that's pretty much it. You know, it's just another Star Wars space game, and that's pretty much the main reason why I'm hyped about it. Is it's got the title Star Wars on it.
Yeah, like you're starting to see. You're starting to see the Star Wars games come out now that EA has
lost exclusivity to
the
Star Wars title.
Which is
I'm so glad that they did that, by the way.
Me too.
That was no smarter decision could have been made. Like, I'm glad that they're still leaving EA with Fallen Order because I loved that game.
Mm-hmm.
I just thought it was criminally short.
Mm-hmm.
But like, I think that's all they need to do.
Dude.
They kind of had two launch failures with both Battlefronts. Now, while Battlefront 2 got better, it still was a failure at launch.
Yeah. Most definitely.
And so,
most definitely.
But speaking of space games,
the
next topic or the next game in our list that we want to talk about was the Destroy All Humans 2 remake.
Oh,
dude, I want to talk about like how catchy that was. Like,
yeah, I mean, I was like, oh shoot, okay.
And it's funny because like the band behind that is Rammstein, and they are a German band, and they have used Rammstein songs now on both remake trailers. They used a different one for Destroy All Humans 1 remake, but it was still Rammstein, and now they're using this. And it's really funny because at the beginning, where you see the two astronauts jumping around on the moon and it's singing that the chorus there, the We All Live in America.
Yeah.
That's exactly how the music video goes to that song.
Oh,
and so
really?
I think that was them kind of paying homage to the band.
Okay, that's cool.
And yeah. So that's just a little Easter egg they threw in there for you. But we've also, on top of this trailer, we got a little bit of gameplay from a couple of different YouTubers that got early access to the demo of this.
Oh, really?
Yeah, it is the first
see.
mission. It's the very first mission of the game.
Yeah.
And it's just a little demo of how it's going to look and work, and it looks phenomenal, just like the other remake they just did. And I can't wait to play it because I arguably loved Destroy All Humans 2 more than I did Destroy All Humans 1. Mainly because 2 has more of a free roam aspect to it, whereas Destroy All Humans 1 was a very linear quest kind of game. Like, there was free roam to it, don't get me wrong. Like, you could go back to the area, you do the mission, you beat the mission, and then you go back to the area that you were just in, and you can roam around. But like in Destroy All Humans 2, as soon as you get dropped into the world, you can explore the whole area that you're in.
That's cool. Yeah. I actually never played Destroy All Humans, actually.
Oh my lord, dog. Pick them both up. Pick the remakes up. Because I'll tell you, I've been playing the remake, and there's nothing different except for the graphics. It's literally the same story, same voice actors, same audio from the PS2, and everything. It's really crazy. Now they have changed the way that some of the weapons and the stuff work, because I guess because they may have thought that on PS2 the way that they designed Crypto, he was a little overpowered. But like the changes aren't too like detrimental to the player.
Yeah.
The reskin of this, though, the whole just redevelopment of everything is really cool. There's like little secrets in the game that you can pick up, and it will show you the artwork of everything that they've remade. And up in the top left corner, it shows you what it used to look like on PS2. And I love shit like that.
Yeah, dude. Yeah, like how you can go back and forth.
Yeah.
Like real quick, I'm gonna say this. I'm gonna try not to get too off topic again. But it kind of goes back to like, it's kind of back to our previous discussion about like original games. Like, it's cool seeing this game come back out from an age where, you know, like this was one of those original games we were talking about.
Yeah, it was the only one of its kind. This is the only game you play as an alien in. Yeah. Except for like that Alien versus Predator game that was kind of
Yeah. Well, just like the type of game it is, it's cool to see them bring it back. But like I was saying earlier, though, like it's still the age of remakes, so like you're gonna see a lot of this stuff, and it's always gonna do well because people love these games. Yeah. So it's like, that's what I was kind of saying. Like, it's not all bad because, I mean, in a way, nothing's really changed because we're playing the same stuff, just like
remastering stuff.
Yeah, just like with better graphics and stuff. But
yeah, I'll tell you right now though, going back to another conversation we had earlier, how you were talking about, okay, they're remastering Uncharted and trying to get people excited about it again. What if we're getting an Uncharted 5? What if they're remastering the Destroy All Humans franchise to bring us a new Destroy All Humans?
I could see that.
Because in all actuality, there were 4 Destroy All Humans games, but people have only heard of 2 of them. So there was the 2 for PS2, which was Destroy All Humans 1 and 2. And then there was the one for the Wii that was called Big Willie Adventure.
Yeah, okay, I do remember that one.
Where that one, you can, for those of you who aren't familiar with it, Big Willie is the big mascot that holds the hamburger in his hand for the one restaurant. He's giant. He looks like a giant, like 7-year-old, basically, that's holding a hamburger in the palm of his hand, and he's holding it up like it's some sort of religious something. Yeah. And so somehow or another, Crypto, I don't remember how it happens, but Crypto takes that thing over and is able to drive it around, and I believe he gets that instead of his saucer in the game. And a lot of the fan base was mad about that because you didn't get to play in the saucer. And I don't think you get the saucer back until the end of the game because the whole point is Crypto's trapped on Earth and he's having to use this little robot thing to get his saucer put back together.
Okay.
And then the last one was for PS3 and Xbox 360, and it was called Destroy All Humans Path of the Furon, and it was the hardest game to fucking find ever. You could not find this game in stores anywhere. And this was before the time of where PlayStation Store really started to take off. This was like right when PS3 came out. So it was, you found it as a disc or you didn't find it at all. Damn. And so I never got to play that. And I really wanted to. So I'm wondering if they're going to remaster that, or if THQ is going to look at this and go, holy shit, we've made $1 million. We've sold 1 million copies of the first Destroy All Human remake. Holy shit, Destroy All Humans has been out for a week and we've already sold 500,000 copies. Like, yo, we need to make a new one. Or are they going to just keep remastering and then that's going to be it?
We'll see. This definitely
I hope they don't build up all this hype to just let it die again. I hope that they make a new one.
Who knows, though? Who knows? But this does look really, really good. And it's one of those games that I have had an interest in ever since they, came out with the remake. And that, that's another good thing about these remakes is it does get people
back interested in the games.
Yeah, back into the games, and it gets new fans interested in the franchise. So
yeah,
it's not all bad, but that I think that about wraps up Destroy All Humans, which has aliens.
I'm looking forward to it though.
Right, this has aliens.
Right,
but this next game also has aliens. So let's talk about this new game called Level Zero.
Spoopy.
Very
spoopy
looking horror game that honestly gave me Alien Isolation vibes, but in a multiplayer.
That's literally all I saw in the chat when this game was revealed. Was, yo, is this Alien Isolation Part 2?
Yeah, right. Yeah. Literally, the first comment is this really reminds me of Alien Isolations, but with PvP.
It looks terrifying.
Yeah, dude.
So, for those of you who haven't seen it, you're in the middle of space, presumably on a spaceship or space station, and all of the power is out, and you're trying to find your way through the space station, I guess, to repair it, and you're discovering different survival tools along the way. and all that, but there is like some sort of telepathic alien that is chasing you throughout the whole thing that kind of reminds me of the damn aliens from Dead Space.
Yeah. Honestly,
they aren't like very terribly resembling Dead Space, but that's just what it reminds me of, I guess, because of how they move and the fact that they're fucking up a space station. But yeah, this game looks very terrifying, and it looks like it's going to be fun to play with friends.
Yes, definitely. Honestly, I don't know. I think like scary space games are about to make like a renaissance. There's about to be like a scary game renaissance, because we're getting Dead Space, the remake. We have this. I mean, it's
Dying Light 2 is kind of a horror game,
but it's not in space.
But it's not in space. You're right.
Yeah, but like even like Firestorm, right? Is that, or what is it called? Alien.
Fire Squad Elite or whatever, Fire Team Elite.
Yeah, I mean, it's not a scary game, but like
it's fun. It's really fun.
Like I feel like
I definitely get jump scared a lot in that game, because they have different xenomorphs that do different shit, and one of them hides around corners or sticks to the wall and will jump out and get you, and the one that just hides around corner just pounces on you like a hunter from Left 4 Dead, and the one that sticks to the wall will literally grab your ass and pull you into the wall, and it's like, ah, like every time.
that was great. That sound was awesome.
But yeah, the horror genre is getting a lot, and like I'm kind of hyped about that, seeing as like October is here. But other than that, I've told you this before, I'm kind of a pussy when it comes to single player horror games.
Yeah, dude, I love them. I don't know why. Now I won't play all of them, but actually no, there is this one that I want to get into. It's like a first person one, and it's apparently like really scary, and I'm like sold. Which is like, yeah, I didn't think I was gonna be that guy, because growing up I used to like be terrified of scary stuff. But
yeah, me too. I was very, very, very scared of scary movies, but now I love scary movies.
Yeah, I think it was like Five Nights at Freddy's for me. Like playing, I played it with my friends, and like even with my friends it was scary, but just like that thrill of being scared was like no. I'll tell you what. Way back when Slender Man came out, I didn't even play the game. I remember watching, like PewDiePie's old videos of him playing it, and just like watching that again with my friends and just being freaked out. But then like, it's like, oh, like that adrenaline rush. And then whenever I eventually did play it, it was like, oh my God. And
yeah.
You're about to get scared, but you want to keep that feeling. I don't know. But looks cool. We'll probably end up trying it at some point. Maybe. I don't know.
We'll have to try that together, because I'm not playing that by myself. Fuck that.
Understandable. Yeah, that about wraps up our gaming segment. Let's go ahead and move on to our movie/TV segment, starting with this Hawkeye trailer that just dropped.
I'm gonna be honest. I wanna pull it up real quick and watch it and talk about it at the same time, because I feel like that's a very proper way to break down a trailer.
Yeah.
So first thing that I notice from the first 2 seconds of this movie is that Hawkeye will now be considered a Christmas movie, much like people consider Die Hard a Christmas movie.
Yeah. Actually, this is a series. Actually, this is actually a series. It's a Netflix series.
It's a TV series.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Which
the
is
way
also
that they show this at first, it seems like a movie.
Oh yeah, we know how like Marvel always does it big, bro. They always it is. It's the thing I like about Marvel is like everything, even if it's like a TV show, has like the movie quality. But anyway, yeah, go back to what you're saying.
So I think this is definitely this will definitely be after the world being saved from the Thanos snap and being restored or whatever.
Yeah.
But we're seeing that a little bit further into the trailer, we see that Hawkeye's with his family. He's enjoying life, and he sees something on the news that the masked vigilante is back terrorizing what they said the underworld. I guess that's like the slums in this universe.
Yeah.
And we see what we can presume is Hawkeye cleaning off his blade there. Like
that was him
in what's it called?
Endgame.
Endgame, yeah.
Mm-hmm.
And so we can assume that this is the same universe as that, and that he fucks some people up, and that's probably coming back to haunt him now.
Yeah, definitely. And I think he even says, like, there's a line where he says, like, I made a lot of enemies or whatever.
Yeah, he says the past has caught up with me.
Yeah. I mean, it was already catching up with him and Black Widow, but now it's like, oh, well, he made even more enemies because he killed a bunch of people when he was Ronin during the dark days when everybody got snapped and stuff. But very interesting that this is a Christmas.
I kind of hope
has a Christmas setting.
We get to see like a little taste of how brutal he was as a Ronin, though.
Yeah, that was kind of disappointing.
Like, I don't want to see him just like start murdering bitches left and right by any means.
Yeah.
Because that's just not like how they're trying to portray him now. Like, he's a changed man and all that, you know. So I don't think that we need to see him put the Ronin gear back on and start murdering people.
Yeah.
But like, I hope that we see a flashback of how brutal he was.
Yeah, because that they kind of like teased it and they like hyped it up, like, oh man, Ronin, it's the Ronin, and then like it was like one scene where he like kills a bunch of people and that's it. And then the "Don't give me hope" line. That's really what people don't even like remember him as being Ronin. They just remember the "Don't give me hope" line. That's it.
So yeah. So we go on from that a little ways, and we see that he's beating up a group of thugs that are, that we can assume are from the Ronin after him. Yeah. And he rips one of their masks off, and he's about to deck this person right in the face. And then he figures out it's a girl, and not only is it a girl, but she's a fan of his because she immediately is like, "Yo, you're Hawkeye," and he's like, "Who the fuck are you?"
Yeah.
And so I think that's going to be the main struggle of this movie is him learning to trust her and see if if he's okay with her. Also, him lying to his wife and his family about when he's going to return to them.
Yep.
So there's going to be a lot of conflict there with them too. One thing that is immediately after that, though, that I thought was badass is whenever he's in the building and he breaks out the window and the dude throws the Molotov in and he catches it and throws it right the fuck back out.
That was tight. Yeah, that was really tight.
I was like, yo, that was kind of sick.
Yeah. Yeah, there's a lot of cool moments. And like I'm just like, I'm really interested to see like how like they kind of like how the Christmas setting like what's the word I'm looking for, like how they wrap the Christmas setting like into it, because like they did, this isn't the first time they've done this because they did it with Iron Man 3 because Iron Man 3 was set at Christmas time for like I want to say like a day or whatever. It was like so it's just I just find it very interesting that they're like going with this setting, but it's definitely cool and it fits, and it's gonna get like, dude, they're gonna get like so much viewership off of this.
My question for you is, do you think that Hawkeye has a little bit of his I'm not gonna say like murderous tendencies, but do you think he's got some of that like violence still in him? Because at the end of the trailer, when they're trying to get the bad guys or whoever's after him off of their tail, he's sitting there trying to pick an arrow out for her, and he's like, "Oh, not that one. That one's too dangerous. Oh, not this one. That'll definitely kill people." And then he hands her one that she shoots, and it literally fucking explodes the car. So why does he have those arrows still? Like, what is he using those on?
Like,
yeah, you never know. You might need to like cripple a bitch real quick.
if
like
if stuff ever hits the fan, like, you got to be prepared. Like
if Thanos comes back, he's shooting him right in the head and just blowing his head off.
I mean, you got.
He ain't playing.
Yeah, you gotta do what you gotta do, man. But it looks super fun, and I'm really interested in freaking what's her name, dude? I forget her name all the time. Hawkeye's little sidekick. What is her?
Yeah, that's a great question. Excuse me. I know nothing about his sidekick or even really his origin story.
Kate Bishop.
Like, I'll be honest with you. The only reason I know Hawkeye is because of the Avengers movie, and I hate to be like that.
No, yeah. You're good. You're good. Well, I mean, so Kate Bishop is like the second Hawkeye, or like another Hawkeye, another version.
Oh,
of Hawkeye.
okay.
So, I mean, it seems like they're like setting up for her.
Do you think this is going to be a
like,
passing of the torch thing?
Huh?
I was just about to say that. Do you think this is going to be like a passing of the torch thing?
Maybe, but I don't know how it's gonna. I don't know how. Like, if it is like a full on like passing of the torch, like I don't know how that's gonna go. But I mean,
what if they kill him? What if he dies?
I don't know if they're gonna do that.
They did it with Iron Man, and now who's his successor? Spodes.
Yeah, Spodes. Oh my God! Don't even get me started on that crap. Well, they are.
That's what I wanted the whole time, though. That's what I wanted the whole time, was for Spodes to take over the Avengers.
Take over, yes, but not be Spider Iron Jr. Okay. That's what he is right now. Like he's Spider Iron.
Because his like suit's kind of like hyped up.
Yeah, like he didn't even. I don't even want to get into it. I don't even want to talk about it. But it'll be. They're gonna have to do a really good job. If they are passing the torch, they're gonna have to do a really, really good job of like making this girl like likable and like vibe. And what they're probably gonna do is like have both of them in the next Avengers movie. Maybe if they do another one.
Then.
No, maybe not. They're not gonna kill him off. Let's just not assume they're gonna always kill him off. He might just retire. Like officially.
Yeah,
retired.
he just might go back into the past and spend the rest of his life with the woman of his dreams and be old.
Yeah, because he was kind of semi-retired in the second one. You remember? Or he was
in the second Avengers.
Well, like he wasn't retired, but he was like talking about it. You know?
Yeah, he was talking about not wanting to be a Hawkeye or in the Avengers anymore, and I think that's like why he was absent for the first part of what's it called? Not Endgame, but the other one.
Age of Ultron?
No. Was Endgame the first part, and then?
Oh, you're talking about Infinity
War? Yeah.
Well, in Infinity War, he was just like he was going out and just killing bad guys like crazy because he was just depressed because his family.
He was just murdering bitches.
Yeah. So I mean, he wasn't really like retired. He was just like going under like a different release or whatever. Not AFK, but AWOL.
Yeah,
he was definitely AWOL.
But I gotta say, man, I love Jeremy Renner.
I like him.
Like I said, I never knew about Hawkeye until the Avengers movie, and he's really someone who made me pay attention to the character.
Yeah, you're good.
I'm gonna start back again on that because that was loud. But anyways, Jeremy Renner is an actor that really brought Hawkeye out to me, and same. I said, I never really knew about him or his story until I saw the Avengers movie. Yeah. And so I'm glad to finally get a series of him, maybe explaining a little bit of his backstory, what he was doing during Infinity War. They're gonna build up his sidekick a little bit, maybe.
Okay, I take that back.
During Christmas.
That was incorrect. She's not a sidekick. She is actually Hawkeye. She's just like another version of Hawkeye. So
he's basically training her to be him.
Yeah, that's why the series is called Hawkeye, and she's got an arrow, you know, and she's shooting people. So
I like how the series. I like the series logo. Like whoever designed that was pretty cool, because they did they obviously they did an arrow in the H, but they also did a target, a bullseye, in the A. And that's kind of a sick design to me because of how the characters are.
Yeah. Yeah.
But I'm looking forward to this because, like I said, and like you said, it looks like it's going to be a fun watch. I love stuff that's during the holiday season.
Yeah.
Like, I'm not a Hallmark Hallmark Christmas movie kind of guy, but like, I do like Christmas movies.
Yeah.
And I don't know, the whole this being kind of set in New York and everything, it gives me an Elf vibe.
Yeah,
like the Will Ferrell movie.
Yeah,
like and so like I think it'll be enjoyable to watch.
Oh yeah, most definitely. Like every time, like I like Hawkeye. I'm not like a diehard Hawkeye guy, but every time like I've watched a Marvel series, I always end up really, really liking it, even if I'm not super interested in it. So I know like it's gonna be good. So I'm looking forward to it. Yeah, definitely. Okay, so Hawkeye
Here it
is on Disney Plus, and Disney Plus also had the debut of another series last week, which is Star Wars Visions, and I'm gonna go ahead and apologize to the audience because this is again gonna be a long podcast because of this segment right here. It's probably gonna take up a good minute, so grab your favorite snack, your favorite beverage, because we're gonna go all in on
pause, take a break, go use the bathroom,
Yeah.
get a bite to eat, come back, and then enjoy.
Yeah, because
We'll wait.
Yeah, we'll wait. Okay, now we're back. Okay. Yo, so
real quick
forgot.
before we get into it,
Uh-huh.
I want you to make me a list of
dang
what
it.
your favorite episodes were.
I was making up the list, but then I kind of like forgot. So, oof. Man, this is
That's
gonna
even
be
better
rough.
because that's gonna be fresh off the head then.
This is gonna be rough. So, man, I almost gotta like pull him back up so I can like look at him again.
Yeah.
So right off the bat, I will say I think the first is probably like my favorite.
Yeah. They started fucking strong.
I'm
with that
saying,
episode.
dude, I could not like. I was like, oh, okay. So
I liked
would
how
say-
the whole animation was black and white, except
Dude,
for the
that
fucking
was
lightsabers.
So sick.
that
dude.
was a cool choice by that studio.
Oh my god, dude. Yeah, that was freaking awesome. So I'd say one, like from top to bottom, one. Oh jeez, this is gonna be so tough. Bro, I need to see like this picture.
Type it in chat too if you need to like keep up with
I'd
like
say,
which ones you've named and which ones you haven't.
Yeah.
Because it helped me to put it in chat whenever I was sending it to you.
Yeah, so it had to be like one. What was the second one that I really? 1-5, definitely.
I'm gonna pull the episode list up too because I just don't remember what they are just off the numbers.
Yeah, I'm trying to like remember, and honestly, I kind of wish I would have like watched it the second time the whole way through in the sub. Like
I did watch it in the sub and the dub.
Oh really? Oh man,
Yeah.
Nice.
So
nice.
you want to hear something funny? In the Twins episode,
Yeah.
the guy is voiced by Neil Patrick Harris.
No freaking way.
Yeah, in the dub, and in the Allison Brie, which plays Annie from Community.
Yeah.
She voices the girl.
Get out of here, dude. That.
Yeah.
Man, I'm torn between that and like the seventh one in terms of.
I'll tell you right now.
Yeah.
Like watching this thing twice, I enjoyed both things. Like the sub and the dub were fucking phenomenal.
Yeah.
Like this is the first anime I've watched in a while where I can confidently say that the sub for this is good.
Yeah,
you know why?
yeah.
Because they got actual actors to fucking voice it instead of just some like new Joe Blow that's into
New Joe
voice
Blow
acting that doesn't know how to put
yeah.
any like you know, he doesn't know how to put the emotion into his acting, whereas like some of the people they chose to voice act throughout the show have plenty of experience with putting emotion into their performances.
Oh, most definitely. Oh my gosh. So I guess like real quick, like let's just talk about that first one, man. Like,
so they come out swinging.
Yes,
they came
literally,
out
dude.
And they said, this is gonna be kind of a chill start, but then when the shit hits the fan,
I'm saying, dude. Oh,
when
I love.
it hit the fan. And then so like okay. Whenever he's sitting there and he's watching all the destruction happen, I'm seeing him with a droid. I'm thinking, okay, he's a Jedi. He's a good guy, right?
Yeah, right? Yeah.
Boy, was I wrong.
Yeah.
Boy, was I wrong. He gets out there to fight the Inquisitor and ignites his lightsaber and it was red. And I was like, what the fuck?
Yeah, dude.
Who is this guy?
Oh,
Who
man.
said you could have a red lightsaber? What the hell?
Yeah.
And so he starts going in on this dude. He swings one time at him and he catches it with the fucking Force. That was such a cool thing. And leave it up to a Japanese anime studio to think of catching a lightsaber like a katana with the Force.
Dude.
They haven't thought about that at all yet in Star Wars,
man.
have they?
No.
Man, that was sick. But he just sits there and catches it and the Inquisitor is like, oh shit, I'm fucked.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, you know?
Yeah. Oh man. So like I think like this might be like it's tough, honestly. Like
I think that was also the shortest episode, which was my least favorite thing about it. I wanted more.
Yeah. It might be like my favorite in terms of like the animation as well. Like it's also just like my favorite episode, just the way it was structured and like just everything that happened. Like definitely like kind of like old school like samurai vibes. Like he comes up, you know, man of little words. He comes up and he's like, all right, by the time like this droid better be like done by the time this freaking water boils, right? And he goes up to like fight her and stuff. That whole fight was so cool, dude. Like you remember when she freaking like the girl was like first of all when she freaking came out and she like had that thing like that funnel for her lightsaber and it freaking made it so like it would like the beam would go through and it had like multiple like what's the word I'm looking for?
It looked like the umbrella saber.
Yeah, dude.
Yeah. I thought that was
cool.
a unique way to like direct lightsabers.
So cool.
I don't know what it is about like certain like I guess that was like some of the metal that they used to make the lightsaber hilts because like they somehow are manipulating the laser to go where they want it to because Kylo Ren does something similar with his lightsaber. And I know that that's not, you know, everybody's favorite trilogy. However, Kylo Ren's lightsaber's cool.
Yeah.
Kylo Ren's lightsaber is the best thing about the new trilogy, and I will die on that hill.
Okay. Fair enough.
But
fair enough.
Because I've always thought about that. Like, yo, people get their hands lopped off all the time. Why don't they make a fucking handguard with lightsaber coming out? And then they did it, and I was like, oh shit, that's kind of dope. But then the movies were disappointing, and then I stopped caring.
Yeah.
Come on, John Favreau, erase them, please.
I mean, I still don't know if they're gonna do that.
I hope they do.
I totally made a mistake.
My favorite episode, animation and story wise, and just overall fighting wise, was episode 7, The Elder. I have been saying they did something in this episode that I have been saying ever since I've watched the first Star Wars movie I've ever seen. And he's sitting there and he is well, first off, let me go back a little bit. The fight with the Padawan is really good. Like, you're not expecting the Padawan to win by any means because they lead you to believe that this guy is a highly trained Sith. Like, whether or not he's old, like, he's been a part of the Sith Order for a while. And then he even explains to the Padawan that, yeah, he was part of a Sith Order, but they were trying to outwit each other all the time, and they eventually fell apart, so he left them before they could get him. Which leads me to believe that this was during the Old Republic times.
Yeah.
And so that's number one that I like. I just really love the Old Republic era. That's a really cool time. Expanding on that lore for me was really cool. So the next part, we get a fight between him and the Padawan, where the Padawan actually holds his own for a minute. But this old guy, he's strong in the Force, and he's strong with a lightsaber, so he catches the Padawan off guard and hits him with a little spin that overwhelms him, and then he slashes him right in the stomach.
I thought he killed him.
We presume the Padawan is dead.
Yeah.
So then Master gets there. He's all sorts of fucking pissed off, and he's like, "Oh man, you killed my Padawan," because he's still a passive Jedi.
Yeah.
And he's not very like aggressive at all. So here's where my favorite part of this episode starts. This man, who has the very long, hair that's in the ponytail, looks bad fucking ass too.
Yeah.
He ignites his lightsaber, and it's green.
Yeah.
All of the most powerful Jedi, I'm getting to that. All of the most powerful Jedi in Star Wars had green lightsabers. Qui-Gon, Yoda, Luke, all of them, right?
Yeah.
And so we see him take Qui-Gon's stand, right? Where he has both hands on the hilt and he kind of holds it at his shoulder like a baseball bat.
Yeah,
right?
yeah. That's a good point, yeah.
So I think he trained Qui-Gon. I think that's who that is.
Shoot. Yeah.
And that's my second one, because Qui-Gon is arguably one of my favorite Jedis in all of the thing. Not just because it's Liam Neeson, but when you get into Qui-Gon's like backstory and lore, he's bad fucking ass.
Yeah, dude.
Oh my God, he was such a powerful Jedi, and he was above all of them. He was farther than Yoda.
Yeah.
And if he wouldn't have been killed by Darth Maul, he probably would have become like the leader of the Jedi Council eventually.
Yeah.
He could have probably stopped Anakin. And that's probably the main reason that story happened.
Yeah, because he was supposed to be he was supposed to mentor. Be Anakin's mentor.
I
Jedi
feel
Master.
like Qui-Gon could have got him out of it if anybody could have. So anyways, we get back to it. He's taking Qui-Gon's stand, and he gets lunged at by the old man, and he just grabs his lightsaber out of his fucking hand and chops it in half. And I was just like,
Yeah, that was
no effort whatsoever. And the old man gets pissed, right?
Yeah.
He starts to shock him with the Force lightning, and he's like, "Oh, I've seen this before." And so that made me think that was like a new power to them. Like, they haven't seen too many people use the Force lightning, which I thought was interesting.
Yeah.
And so he is basically stopping this Jedi's lightsaber blade with the Force lightning, and he's raising his other lightsaber blade above his head, or he's raising his lightsaber above his head to slice him like he did the Padawan. But then lo and behold, the Padawan is still alive, and he force throws his lightsaber into the old man, and he has to not pay attention to the man they just called the Master. He didn't have any name. That he was just the Master.
Yeah, the Master.
That was it, and that's why I think he's Qui-Gon's trainer, is because we don't know what his name was. But anyways, so he does exactly what I've been saying ever since I first saw a fucking Star Wars movie. He fucking sheaths his blade, puts the hilt up to his chest, reignites it, and I was like, dude, it was such a hype moment. Like, he just fucking just takes it and he puts it up to his chest, and the old man looks and he was like, "Oh, I'm fucked." And then he ignites it and he was like,
Yeah, it kind of reminded me of that.
That was badass.
It kind of reminded me of that part in Last Jedi, actually. Whenever Kylo Ren does the same thing when Rey throws the lightsaber at him.
Yeah,
and he has a guy behind him and he just ignites it and it like goes through the dude's head. It was kind of like that same type. But yeah, I was like, oh, dang,
that was
dude.
sick, yeah.
Yeah.
But yeah, I've always said that they need to do something like that. Like, if they're just clashing blades and like they're just standing there, just sheath your sword and reignite it into his stomach. Like, he's blocking his face, not his stomach.
Yeah.
You've got it.
Yeah.
And so, like, when he did that, I man, the pop that came out of me.
The pop. Yeah.
Like, I popped so hard for that. I did. I screamed. I was watching it with one of my friends because he doesn't have Disney Plus, and so we were in a Discord party just watching the whole fucking thing together.
Yeah.
And dude, I about blew his eardrums out because I popped hard for it.
Oh man.
But yeah, that was by far my favorite episode out of the whole thing. I loved the story. I loved that the Padawan didn't actually die. That was cool.
Yeah, I was like
expecting him to just be fucked. Like,
yeah,
I was like, and I was like, oh,
and like the
man,
camera angle, the way they did it, I was like, oh, they just taking him. They're taking him out like that. Oh,
yeah.
shoot.
The way they did it, it makes you think that he was sliced a lot deeper than what he actually was.
Yeah, that's crazy, bro. That's freaking crazy. And maybe, maybe the Elder did it on purpose. You know, like maybe he wasn't, because he remember when he said like he used to be a Sith, but like he was talking about the Sith, and he was like, you know, the Sith did. I forget what he said, but like they did. He said
they always tried to outwit each other.
Yeah, and that was their downfall.
That was their decline. Yeah, and so that's why he left them.
Yeah, so maybe that's why he didn't kill him, because he wasn't like a Sith anymore. He was just kind of like a dude.
But we do know that there was something odd about him, because at the end, whenever he was stabbed and was dying, he blew his ship up so that they couldn't get in there and see any of his records. So was he still with the Sith? Or was he with a different order? Was he with the Knights of Revan?
I don't know, man.
Dog, what if, dude? That would be sick.
It's, bro, yeah, it's...
Because I think that they were Siths, weren't they? I might have to play Coder when it comes out.
yeah.
For Switch? No, I'm just kidding. I would never.
Oh my god.
I would never. So let's just go in order now. So episode 2, Tatooine Rhapsody.
Worst episode.
I thought that this was a fun little episode. But you're not convincing me one single bit that Jabba the Hutt and Boba Fett gave mercy on these people because they played good music.
Bro.
They are ruthless fucking people. Jabba the Hutt kills his own well, fuck. That one guy was his own family and was about to kill him. Yeah. And so, like, you're not convincing me a single bit that was Jabba the Hutt or Boba Fett in that episode. Yeah. Also, I don't know what time era this is in, because they show the main guy, the main like blue-haired kid that you follow through the episode, him running away as a Padawan, and
yeah, that was kind of,
and he falls into his trailer and he was getting shot at and stuff. So I think that was during Order 66. And so,
you know,
this might be somewhere during the Empire times, but still, like, Boba Fett was young in Clone Wars, so, like, how was he automatically just an adult all of a sudden? Because he had a man's voice.
Yeah.
Or at least in the sub he did.
Yeah.
I don't remember the dub too much.
Yeah, I think, going back to what I was saying earlier, it was a fun episode, but I don't know. It was too much like kind of like angst, you know, that part where he was like their buddy got like captured and he was like, "You're right. We're just a band." I was like, for real? Like, what is this, dude? What is this?
Yeah,
and like,
man. I thought that it was like a fun little lighthearted episode aside. Like this was seriously just an adventure that was just like, hey, this is just them making it as musicians in the Star Wars universe. This isn't about people that go out and murder. This is now in this same merit, this was probably my least favorite episode.
Yeah. Now I will say none of these were bad.
None of these were bad. But they were all fun to watch.
Yeah.
But like, man, this one was rough to make it through.
Yeah, I was like, okay, so all right.
I was like, when's this gonna get interesting? And then, dude, dog, you don't know how hard I laughed at the end whenever they're sitting there and they're like pleading their case to Jabba's nephew or whatever to keep him alive and let him play an encore or whatever. and they shot their guns. I dead ass thought they just fucking killed him. I laughed so hard, dude. And then they showed he was still alive, and I was like, oh yeah, man, that would have been so much better if you'd have just fucking killed him. That was so comedic, like,
bro. Dude, my bad. The main character was Joseph Gordon-Levitt.
Really?
Yeah,
that's crazy.
And that was like him singing too, I think.
This thing that you sent me, does that tell who all the actors are in the episode?
Yeah, it's the Wikipedia. It's got like stuff to all that. I just figured I'd keep it because I need the pictures by each episode to remember. That's just how
I just pulled up Disney Plus and was looking at it from there.
Yeah.
But so this episode was lighthearted and was fun to watch. I do have to say though, it was like not my favorite episode.
Yeah,
like, it's definitely at the bottom of my list at this, just because something had to be, and there just wasn't too much entertaining stuff in this. Like, it was cool as a musician to watch it. Don't get me wrong. But
that's fair.
But like, as far as like watching Star Wars stuff, like I want action.
Yeah,
I just like that.
Not even that. I just want some like mythos and like war and that 100%. Wasn't that, which is okay, but it's like, all right, it's their take, so
So the next episode, episode 3, is called The Twins. It was made by Trigger Studios. I don't know if you did this during the watch, but like during my watch, I looked up each of the animation studios just to see what their previous work was and to see if I can like pick out like certain animations that they did. But at the beginning, that the duel, Kamikaze Duga, that was literally like the only thing they had done was that. That was like their first thing.
Wait, Trigger?
No. The
people
you're talking animated the duel. They were called Kamikaze Duga or Doga.
Are you talking about for the second episode?
No, for the first episode, the very first episode.
I'm sorry.
The second episode is Studio Colorido.
Okay. Yeah, well, if this is their first thing, then like, or their second thing,
them,
or whatever.
Right?
Yeah, bro, they, bro.
Man, and
wait, no, they did JoJo. Where are you looking?
Oh, yeah, that's right. I'm sorry. It wasn't this one. I was just spouting stuff, I guess.
No, you're good.
There was one of the episodes was animated. It was like one of the only things that the studio had done. Damn. And it might have been Kinema or Gino, but one of these studios had only done like 2 things before this. And that's so whenever crazy. I saw the episode, I was really impressed with their work.
I think you're talking about Gino, because that one, holy crap, dude. That the 8th one, like, say what you want about the story, but like, probably
I liked the story. I thought the hill they built was beautiful.
Yeah, probably like, again, like one of the best looking episodes in terms of animation. Like, I love how, my bad, we'll get to it later.
Yeah. So Kamikaze, they did JoJo's part 1 and part 3. They did not animate part 2 though. They did animate the Batman Ninja anime, which I haven't seen yet, but I want to.
Yeah,
I want to see that. Like, I didn't know that was a thing, but now I do, and I want to watch it, and I don't know how.
Yeah.
So then the second episode was Studio, I think it's Colorido or Coloridio.
Cool,
I think it's Colorido.
Yeah.
But they have done a few Pokemon. They did a Budding Dream, which will be coming out or has come out this year. And they did Twilight Wings that came out last year. They also did Burn the Witch. I don't know if anybody's seen that, but that's a pretty good one. And that's about it. And then they did the Tatooine Rhapsody episode.
Yeah. I thought they were like another studio because the animation looked similar to something like kind of like
it looked similar to Gurren Lagann to me.
Yeah, like Gurren Lagann and like honestly, it kind of did with the way the characters look. To be honest, yeah.
So then Trigger,
of
course, has made Kill la Kill, Little Witch Academia, Darling in the Franxx, and some of the other stuff that they've done, just like some little stuff that they have done, has been Space Patrol, Lulico, When Supernatural Battles Became Commonplace, and SSS Gridman.
Yeah, and when some of the members of Trigger used to be part of Gainax, and Gainax was actually the production studio that did Gurren Lagann.
Yeah.
So, fun fact, we're weebs.
Yeah. But the Twins episode, I think, was really good story wise. Like you start off on. So the episode was called The Twins, right? Mm-hmm. And the first shot that they show is two fucking conjoined Star Destroyers.
Yeah, that
with
was
this
like crazy.
Weapon in the middle, and I was like, so is the episode called The Twins because it's conjoined Star Destroyers, like they're conjoined twins or something? Yeah. And then it showed the other, like the characters, and I was like, oh, okay, no, this makes sense now. But like, it starts off with a little power struggle between the brother and sister. He's taking a big kyber crystal that they are using as a like literal miniature Death Star weapon with the two Star Destroyers put together. And they were about to test it out on a planet, and he was like, nah, fuck that. You've lost your way, sis. And I don't know anything else to their story besides that. No one else does. We just know that apparently they weren't always like that. And that the brother is starting to feel a little like lighthearted about just randomly murdering people. We know that he's not taking that kyber crystal to the Jedi, but he's definitely not going to let his sister have it and destroy everybody.
Yeah, or herself.
Yeah, or herself, because eventually they are fighting over the kyber crystal in outer space, and it snaps in half. And she injects it into her suit, which gives her some super fucking electrical kyber crystal force powers that were insane. But it also was like on the brink of killing her. And then for the boy twin, he put it into his lightsaber and used it, and it made his lightsaber be able to change lengths. It made it be able to change colors.
Yeah.
At one point, it was like an luminescent one. It was like purple, fading into green, fading into blue. Man, that was a sick fucking episode. Just the way that just the way that these studios have played with the
just like the
with the lightsabers.
The lightsabers and everything. So now this is like a long shot, but did you get the feeling that maybe this was like, even though their names are different, that maybe these characters were like alternate versions of Luke and Leia? Did you get that?
Yeah, sort of. Yeah,
because they're twins.
This was if Leia like chose like a dark path and Luke wasn't about it.
Yeah, well, like the fact that they were like they're both twins. Like, I forget the guy's name. What the heck was the guy's name? Am? Yeah. Am. Or not. Carrie. Yeah. Kare? I think that's how you say it. Dude looks straight up like Luke. Like, especially at the end. Yeah. At the end. When he was looking at the two moons. I'm like, come on now.
Yeah, and he was on Tatooine. Yeah.
And he was like, because I love her because she's my twin sister. Okay,
yeah.
That was definitely... I mean, from the get-go, it said they were twins. But I'm like, wait a minute. At the end, I was like, What? Oh.
That's how that's exactly how I was. I don't know about you,
Yeah.
but whenever I was watching some of the episodes in this series, and specifically this one and a few other ones, I wanted more.
Oh yeah.
I wanted a whole anime of just this show. Like I want to see how this power struggle between siblings ends.
Yeah, it really sucks how a lot of these were kind of like they just kind of ended, and like they were setting up a lot of really cool stuff, but it's like, oh dang, like
this
they
is a
just
one-off.
Yeah, all of them were one-offs. Especially well, we'll get to it later on, but yeah, definitely one of my favorites. This one was the action, especially like, and I knew it was gonna be crazy because that's just how like freaking Trigger is, man.
Yeah, this was definitely a really crazy episode. But I enjoyed it.
Yes. Yes.
So, I know I was about to move on, but one thing that I really did like was how her suit, once she powered it up with the kyber crystal, it could produce extra arms and lightsabers for her to use. So she became like General Grievous with 6 arms. And like tight. It made her lightsabers turn into like whips almost because they were entangled around his fucking, because she could stretch them out and he wrapped his lightsaber around it so she was tangled and couldn't do anything
was
about
so
it.
Crazy. Like what? I was like,
that was such a weird way to think about using the lightsabers, but like
it was so
if you're
anime.
Really thinking about it, who's to say that like always throughout Star Wars that since they can manipulate it inside that metal that it would stay straight.
Yeah.
Whenever it was outside of it, who knows if it wouldn't like just flop over or something, you know?
Had some kinky Jedi into some BDSM or something.
Yeah. It's just like you can make the lightsaber erect or flaccid. Yeah.
Oh my gosh!
But
demonetized.
Yeah. All right. So the next episode was called The Village Bride, and this one was animated by Kinema Citrus, which they've done a few things. The most notable thing that I remember was Black Bullet. I don't know too much about that, but that's an anime title that I've heard before.
Yeah, I've seen Barakamon.
Yeah, and they did have Barakamon in there as well.
Pretty good.
So the Village Bride starts off and we see a dude in kind of like a welder's mask with some unknown device to me. It kind of looked like something from Ghostbusters, I'll be real with you.
Yeah.
But he's out there like exploring stuff, and then we see a woman approach who is known as F, and she's like being very cautious wherever she goes, and she's like not trusting, and while the male, his name is Van, it's Vaan, and so you decide. And she comes up and they start having conversation. He removes his helmet and we see that it's an older man with gray hair, and then he says to her that her mask doesn't suit her, and what she's wearing is like a Ronin mask or something similar to what Echo wears in Rainbow Six Siege. And he's like, yeah, that doesn't suit you, and so she takes it off and she looks, a lot nicer and not as mean. And we find out that they are at a wedding, and I guess that they were there for overall protection of this or something. I don't really know why they're there. It's not ever explained. They're just there. And it may have something to do with that device that he was using at the beginning. But we see 2 other characters who are named Asu and Haru, who go up this like rocky path up to a big rock, and they chant something like, "We are the sky, we are the forest, and we are the river," and then together they say, "We are one," and a big blue bubble envelops around the area, which would lead you to believe that did some sort of like protection ritual, right? And they call the thing whenever they get done with their chants, they say Magina rise, and so I don't know what Magina is, but they're trying to summon it, and I guess Magina is the blue bubble.
I think that's what they call what we know as the Force is what they call
as Magina.
Yeah.
That could be.
Yeah, that would make a lot of sense. I think so.
So we fast forward a little bit after that, and they're at the wedding feast. It's already, the ceremony has already happened. Everybody is dancing, and they're at the what's that called? The reception.
Mm-hmm.
And
you should know you have one of those. Not too long ago.
Nah, man. I'd be forgetting stuff.
Yeah.
That wasn't the most important part of the wedding, you know.
Yeah.
Yeah. But nah. So we see that there is a lot of stuff going on. Some people are coming over to the table and they're talking to Vaughn or Van, and her F goes off on her own to go meditate, and she's out in the forest where let me back up a little bit. During the feast of the wedding, for some reason, Haru's sister, Saku, stands up in front of everybody and her sister at her own wedding and demands that she do something about the raiders that want to come and take her away.
Mm-hmm.
And they're basically like a little rebellion force, and they're like, yo, if you don't let us do something, we're going to, denounce ourselves from this kingdom, and we're going to go do it anyways to protect you,
mm-hmm.
because that's bullshit. And so, she tells Saku that she needs to not do that, and that she needs to fall in line and just play it out like everybody else, and everything will be okay. And she's not having it, and she tears off her like little ribbon saying that she's part of their clan or whatever, and her
the
along
clan.
with like 8 or 9 other people throw their rags on the ground. So later that night, F is in the woods meditating. She's holding the rock with the Force, and Haru, the bride, comes out there and asks if she thinks she's being reckless by just, waiting it out.
Mm-hmm.
That she doesn't want to put fear in her village by like fighting back and stuff, because like, what if it goes wrong? What if they, get killed and all that? And so it fast forwards to dawn. We see that the raiders are there, and that Haru has planned to go peacefully with them and to not have any sort of conflict with the raiders. And he's like, yeah, but I wanted to be sure that you weren't going to try anything. And they come out with Saku and her clan, and he's like, yeah, so I'm just going to kill these two because they tried to fuck with me, so I'm gonna kill them.
Mm-hmm.
And as he goes to shoot him, our Jedi that has been so unfaithful in herself the whole episode catches the bullet midair with the Force.
Yeah.
And nobody knows what the fuck is going on. They're just like, what? And
Magina?
The guy that shot the bullet was like, huh? And the girl that was about to get shot was like, I'm alive?
Yeah.
And then she throws that bullet into his hand, and then they just start fighting. They start fighting.
Yeah.
And it's great.
I would say throwing hands, but they ain't really, throwing hands.
Yeah,
throwing
they really ain't.
sabers.
Yeah, they throwing sabers. But I thought that was really good, like, storytelling. It was also really cool because she pulls her lightsaber out and she ignites it, and it's fucking yellow.
It's yellow, yeah. I like that.
Which we've only seen a couple of Jedi canonically have yellow lightsabers, and Rey is one of them.
Why you gotta say it like that, man?
Because you know why I have to say it like that. I'm Rey Skywalker. That's why. I didn't want her to say that so bad. Yeah. So seeing her with the yellow lightsaber was kind of cool, and she charges straight at the lead raider and impales him.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Done.
Yeah, like
great.
A lot of impaled.
Great fun episode to watch.
A lot of people getting impaled in this anthology series.
So that was that episode. So the next one was by Production IG.
Yeah.
And this one was called The Ninth Jedi, and this was probably one of my more like the next favorite one.
Yeah. Definitely
on the list for me. Because it tells it's so good.
Yeah.
Like you're sitting there and you're watching it, and you know there is a message that's calling all Jedi that have survived Order 66 to this one place, or that are still alive through all of that, and he wants to rebuild the Jedi Order, right? And so a bunch of Jedi answer the call, and they get there, and that guy that has called them there is nowhere to be seen. The little like waiter droid is there, and he's giving them information and being like, hey, you're gonna have to wait a little longer. He's held up, and or something like that. And basically the protagonist of the episode hears that they need to get what's it called? They need to get their lightsabers from a saber maker down on the planet below them.
Yeah, I'd say there's like two protagonists if you count. Well, I guess you're about to get into that.
Yeah. So we go down to the planet with the main protagonist to help the saber maker get all of the stuff back up to the Jedi. And his daughter, we find out, is Force sensitive. And that she's using a lightsaber. And man, I thought that her lightsaber at first, when she was using it, and it was like clear, I thought that was pretty cool. Like it was like completely see-through, but it was still a solid.
Yeah,
like, that was cool as fuck.
And that was it was interesting how they expanded on the lore like that, because I didn't know. I thought the crystal was what determined the color, but in this, I guess,
it's your alignment.
Yeah, it's your. I was like, okay, that's a really cool idea, dude.
Well, and I think that it may have always been like that. I don't think that kyber crystals are blue and purple and red and stuff. I think that they're just like that at Disney World just to give us the effect. I think that they're all, because like you think about the game Fallen Order, right?
Yeah, I was about to say,
when you go and build your lightsaber for the second time, he picks just a random crystal off the wall, and it's not a certain color, it's just iridescent. So I think that your kyber crystal may this whole time have to do a lot with your alignment. And that's why, like, people that are very powerful Jedi, like I said, Qui-Gon, Yoda, Luke, now this guy that we've seen in Visions, anyone else that's very powerful with a green lightsaber, and they're very, 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 like, lawful good alignment, right? Then you've got your blue lightsaber, which is just, he's basically, you've got Obi-Wan, Anakin, Rey, Luke at first, and I think that blue means that you're hopeful, like you have a lot of hope and faith in the Jedi Order, and you believe in it and stuff. And I think that purple is an alignment between the two. I think that's between light and dark, because blue and red make purple.
Yeah.
And then if you're red, you're obviously Sith.
You're
like there is no other Sith color.
Yeah.
So they get down there, they find the girl. We find out she's Force sensitive, and she's running from some Imperial assholes.
And her father probably was as well. Probably.
Yeah. And then, well, because her father makes a last stand.
Yeah, didn't he kind of block a blaster bullet as well?
Yeah.
Whenever they shot him and it bounced off of his hand and it like went into the furnace and it exploded.
Yeah, that's what I was about to say. I think that he uses the Force.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure he's Force sensitive as well.
But so those two, the two protagonists of the episode now, go back up to the space station to deliver the lightsabers to all of these aspiring Jedi to rebuild the Order. Still, we have not seen the person that has called them all there, and we have seen a picture of this person now, and he looks particularly evil.
Yeah,
like he does not look like he would be a Jedi.
Nope.
He looks like he would be a Sith. And so you're led to believe, like, all right, is this guy called them there to blow this place up? Like, why has he let him get this far with the lightsabers? And then we see the main protagonist, the boy, pull his lightsaber out of the pile, and he ignites it, and it is blue. And it's like, okay, so that's cool. We're about to see what everybody's color is.
Mm-hmm.
The other 7 Jedi that were there ignited their lightsabers, and they were red.
Yeah, that was like tight, dude.
That was the biggest twist ever. I was like, yo, what the hell?
Yeah.
And so then homegirl that came back up with him pulls her lightsaber out, and she uses it, and it goes from being clear to green.
Yeah, that was so cool.
That
dude.
was sick as fuck.
That was an awesome moment.
And they start fighting together, and then finally the robot that's been there the whole time helps them out, and ends up like kind of maneuvering a bit, and the person that called all of the Jedi there jumps out, and he's like, "Hey, I've been here this whole time, but
it was me."
He was like, "I got word that somebody had killed the Jedi that I sent out for and sent Sith in their place, so I had to disguise myself as a droid to make sure everybody wasn't a Sith."
Yeah. Yep.
And so like that was the coolest. That was like a cool episode because that was with a twist, you know.
Yeah. Yeah. I really like I really like what they did with like the colors, and even so like the main girl's lightsaber turned green, but if you remember, one of the other like Sith, like he wasn't actually a Sith, he was like the undercover guy, because remember he was fighting the kid, not the kid, the boy, or you know, the young guy,
yeah, the main guy
with the blue lightsaber, and he was like, dude, like, he was like, what the heck are you, or whatever, like, who are you? And then like you saw his lightsaber turn from red to purple. That was so sick, dude.
Yeah. And
so
then at
sick.
the end of that fight, he was still sitting there fighting. I think he was fighting the girl, and he was like, "Hey, that's enough."
He's like, "This isn't
man.
like you.
You know this isn't you." And he was like, "Yeah, I'm sorry. They influenced me to, you know."
Yeah, that was
like
that
them.
was such a cool
and that's
moment,
why
dude.
I think that purple is in between dark and light. It's like you're very easily influenced by the dark side, but you're also like very wanting to be on the light side. So you're just like you're on that fence, man.
Yeah, kind of like a gray Jedi. But I mean, you could argue. Well, I don't want to get into the lore. That's another rabbit hole.
I didn't do this at the beginning, but Production IG, a few things that they have done was they did a Ghost in the Shell.
Mm-hmm.
They did that whole franchise. They helped produce Attack on Titan. They did Sands of Destruction. They did. I'm trying to look for more.
Eden of the East.
Yeah, Eden of the East. They did Broken Blade. Yeah.
Psychopaths.
I think they did video games. Yeah, they did Persona 5. Yeah.
Really?
Yeah,
okay, now that I didn't know actually. Okay.
They did that Fire Emblem.
Oh shoot.
They did
they must
Sakura
have done
Wars, and they did Tekken 3.
They must have They must have done like the cutscenes then.
Yeah.
Okay.
I don't think they like animated the characters.
Okay.
I think that they did the cutscenes for all these things.
Okay.
But like Persona 5, and Persona 5 Royale, like that is a lot of. Yeah, it says right here in that it says 2016 animated cutscenes with Damarika.
Okay.
And then for Tekken, it says pre-rendered CGI cutscenes and animated cutscenes.
Mm.
And then in Sakura Wars, they just animated those.
Oh, okay. Okay. Wow. Sakura Wars. What is that? Oh, okay.
They also did the Ghost in the Shell video game. They actually animated their own video game. That's cool.
Oh, yeah.
Since they did the series in the game. But anyways, so yeah, I didn't do that before. I just wanted to give everybody a little insight on Production IG. So moving on to the next episode, which is called TOB1. This episode was again a very slow episode. It was about a little droid that was helping a scientist bring life back to planets that hadn't had life on it in quite a while.
Yeah.
And the main half of the episode, like first half of the episode, focuses on that. And the fact that the droid is always daydreaming of being a Jedi.
Yeah.
And he wants to so bad, and he just doesn't understand. He doesn't understand why he can't be, and why it's not fair, you know.
Mm-hmm.
So he eventually pesters the scientist about it enough to where the scientist reveals that he is himself is in fact force sensitive, and he starts showing him a whole bunch of stuff, and he shows him his lightsaber and all this other stuff, and he's like, yeah, have fun with this. This is like a thing that you can play with.
Yeah.
You're a droid, so I can just rebuild you if you lop one of your limbs off.
Yeah.
So have fun. So something goes down while TOB1 is not in the science lab. He's hidden away, and there's an attack that happens, and the scientist is defending against the attackers, but throughout the episode we see that the scientist has no arms, and so
dude,
the only
that
way
was
he can
crazy.
defend himself is by using the Force and fighting with his lightsaber with the Force.
That was
and
a crazy.
That was insane.
Yeah, like
yeah,
I've never seen something like that, and you don't really think about it, but like
I didn't think that a Jedi would be useful if he didn't have arms, and now I'm just completely rethinking it. And
well, of course,
wow.
if they got the Force, I mean, you can pretty
much.
much
But I thought that you had to have arms to use it, I guess, and that's
Yeah.
just like a misconception that I think a lot of people have, since the Jedi tend to reach their arm out in most cases than when they use the Force.
Yeah.
So like to see him just kind of close his eyes and nod his head at it and fucking be fighting with it, like, dude, that was sick.
Yeah. Oh yeah, dude.
And I'll be honest with you, up until that point in the episode, I was so bored. Because I was just like, oh, it's a droid that wants to be a Jedi and he's never gonna be, and them just doing science shit. This is kind of cool, but I'm bored.
Yeah.
So, but anyways, so he emerges from the rubble, the droid does, and he sees that all of his droid friends have been destroyed, and that his builder and the scientist is dead.
Mm-hmm.
So I believe he buries his master, and he keeps the lightsaber, and then we find out that the droid is force sensitive somehow. I don't understand it, but he's got it.
Yeah. Yep.
I guess
that was
droids
very
can have.
interesting.
I guess droids can have midichlorians now.
Well, I think it was hinted at that maybe he wasn't always a droid, because he called him. You remember
what if that was the scientist's son at one point?
I was thinking that, dude. I was getting
and he got killed by a Sith, and the whole reason he didn't want him to dream about being a Jedi is because he had already been killed that way.
Yeah, dude. I was getting like,
it could be like a whole Grievous thing.
Yeah.
They
I was
rebuilt
really
him as a droid.
I was getting strong, like Mega Man.
That's what I thought. That's
Astro
what I was
Boy.
getting from his character design,
Bro. Like, it, especially the scientist. The scientist was like straight up, freaking Dr. Light. Like it's like they took Dr. Light and they were like, yo, copy my homework, but change it up a little bit. And yeah, let's just take Dr. Light and take away his arms.
Yeah,
we got this guy.
Yeah.
Even like the robot, like very, very strong, like Astro Boy just vibes. In a good way, though. I actually really like this episode a lot more than I thought.
I'll be honest though, I wasn't too crazy about the animation in this episode.
What? Oh, dude.
I didn't like. I don't like that.
I thought it was awesome, dude.
But,
that's just my opinion.
I thought that looked a little too and like, I know this sounds stupid because it's on Disney Plus, but it looked too Disney animated to me.
Too Disney.
That's fair. But after he gathers the lightsaber and we find out he's force sensitive, he rebuilds the lab completely, and continues his creator's work. And he continues to figure out the formula to bring life to that planet, and he rebuilds all of his droid buddies back to normal, and they restore life on that planet, and they move to another planet that has been lifeless for years and years and years, and they go to do the same thing there.
Yeah.
Figure out what's wrong and start fixing stuff. So, like, still not an overly... one major point that I did forget to mention is after he rebuilds the science lab and all of his friends and stuff, the people that killed his creator come back, and he has one final standoff with them. And I kind of already said this, but he obviously kills him and goes on and continues his master's work while having the lightsaber to, whoop ass if needed.
Yeah, and he can also, like, rebuild himself, because he saw after he got his hand cut off.
Yeah, that he put his arm back on.
Yeah. I was like, oh, that's cool.
Yeah, that's what I was thinking about the whole time.
Yeah.
It's like, yo, this guy's a robot, so, like, him losing limbs is, like, literally no problem at all.
Ain't no thing.
But this was again, I forgot to do it again, so this was animated by Science Saru. They have done a few little things. They did the Devilman Crybaby animation for the Netflix adaptation. I speak very highly of that anime. It's really good. If you haven't seen it, I highly recommend it. But it is brutal and depressing, so watch with caution.
With caution.
So they did Typhoon Naruto, Ride Your Wave, Adventure Time Food Chain, Ping Pong the animation, Space Dandy, and then of course Devilman Crybaby.
Yep. Or AKA Suffering. The anime.
Yeah. Yes.
That's all I've heard. I'm just like, I don't know if I want to, like, do that.
Yeah. So we've already talked about episode 7, so we won't go back into that. But episode 8 is called Lop and Ocho. And the way that this story starts out is we see a bunny, hold on. This one was made by Geno Studios, and they have literally done 3 things. They have done Kokoku, Moment by Moment, Golden Kamui, Pet, and now Star Wars Visions.
Yeah.
So
gorgeous,
gorgeous
episode, dude.
They're a very, like, young animation team, but my God, was this episode fucking awesome!
So
like
good.
Some of the stuff that they animated into this episode,
oh
like,
my gosh, dude.
They made a very, like, ornamental lightsaber hilt that looks very Japanese and very ornamental, and there's jewels and designs carved into it, and it just looks fucking sick.
Yeah,
like,
dude.
One of the baddest fucking lightsaber hilts I've probably seen in the whole Star Wars universe.
Yeah.
And it's like the family lightsaber that's been passed down through generations.
Yeah, that was tight. Like, that story, how they're like, Jedi came.
That is pretty sick, because like, I mean, that's pretty much what I would expect. Like, if there was like a long line of Jedi family that, like, could actually keep up the ritual of giving it to your son before you inevitably die. Like, so we see, like, a bunny person running away from something, and she goes into a market, and she is wanting some food and stuff, and she runs into a young girl and an older man, which is her father, and they're in the market buying stuff, and they offer to pay for her stuff, and since she is recently orphaned and running away from the Empire, they take her in, and they make her one of their own, and they treat her like family. And
she's literally, like, called them father and sister.
Yeah, and, like they're her dad and her sister, and they've been talking like that for the longest while. And so we fast forward 20 years, and the sister, the
or wasn't it
sister,
7? Wasn't it like 7?
Was it 7?
Yeah, I don't know if it was like. Yeah, I don't know if it was that long.
Hold on.
But it was a good minute.
I will fact check real quick. But they fast forward like a few years to where they're not children anymore, and they're like at least teenagers or young adults, right?
Yeah.
And
Jeez.
The bunny character is like very loyal to the father, and the family. They, she loves him with all her heart, and she considers him her real dad, and the girl her real sister, because they helped her get away from captivity. They released this like awful collar that was on her neck, and just really treated her like family. So we fast forward, and the sister that has brought her in is starting to get a little jealous, right?
Yeah, turn into a witch with a beat. No.
We see that there's something going on, and the bunny girl is unconscious on the ground, and she asked the family droid TD where her sister is all of a sudden, and it seems that Ocho has ran a terroristic attack on the Empire that her father did not want, because it would cause, or I'm sorry, he ran the terroristic attack that she didn't want, because it would cause more bad than good for their tribe. And so he was passing down the new head of the family, which comes with the lightsaber and the rights, the lead of the family, or whatever the family name, and they get to decide what that tribe does or does not do. And so he went on with the terrorist attack because he's still the lead of the family, and she was wanting to get a working relationship with the Empire for when she takes over, because they can provide more food and more stuff for the people that can't provide as much for themselves.
Yeah, want that
or at least that's what they're telling everybody. Yeah, that it's total bullshit if you know the Empire, but like this girl has been seduced by the Empire's get rich quick schemes and stuff. Yeah, and it's just not how the galaxy works, unfortunately. So there's a split between the father and the daughter, and she goes, and after she has the big argument with their father, the two girls are in the car together, and they get stopped by the Empire, where we see the sister is betraying the family because she cuts off her hair.
Yeah, that's a big one. That's like, ooh.
Yeah, she cuts off her ponytail and leaves it with the bunny, and she goes and joins the Empire.
Yeah.
And it's so sad, because the entire time the bunny is begging and pleading, like, no, sister, please don't do this. We can fix this. We can make this better. We can beat them. And she's just not listening. She's already been seduced by the dark side. Yeah, and she does that thing like they do in Naruto, though, where she like bites her thumb, which would hurt like hell in real life. But she like, and in fucking Attack on Titan, they do that. Yeah, too. Yeah. She like rubs the blood on her eyes, or not eyes, but like like around her eyes. Like she made like the little winged shit with them. Yeah, she made it like mascara. That was weird. I don't know why she did that. Yeah, it was kind of weird. She's like, I am a villain now. My villain makeup. So the bunny woman Lob goes back to their father and reports what has happened, and he gives her the ornamental lightsaber and says, you are the new head of the family. Yeah, I was like, the decisions now. And as he's showing her this scroll, what I would think is the physical embodiment of the Force is surrounding her and her father. There's like whole galaxies of stars and shit around them, and it's like a bright blue light. It's really, really pretty. That was a really cool moment, and it was showing the scroll of how their family has lived generation through generation, and that they've always served the Jedi and in the rebellion. And she was like, she said something that kind of like made me tear up a little bit, because she was like, yeah, but like, I don't deserve this. I'm not your daughter. And he's like, no, you are my daughter. And that bond will never be broken.
Yeah,
and I was
bro.
like, oh.
Yeah. That was like, that was a cool moment. That was a really good moment.
So they hatch a plan to get Ocho back to the family, and the Empire comes to the town, and as Ocho promised, they start destroying shit because of the terrorist attack. And then Ocho just goes straight after her father with some sort of like electrical bladed nunchuck something.
Yeah.
Like, it was connected together by electricity, but they were two like literal poles that had blades on the end of them. It wasn't lightsabers, it was just blades. And
but they were making lightsaber effects, which is kind of weird.
Yeah,
that threw me off.
I was wondering if it was the metal that the Mandalorians used.
And
because remember, Lob and Ocho have a lightsaber fight soon after that, and she's able to deflect the lightsaber with her
Beskar
nunchuck blades. So I think that may have been Beskar. Yeah. But she slices the father in the eye, and then Ocho defeats the sister and gets her to back off. She does not kill her. But she does win the fight. And the father is like, oh man, it's really sad because I'll never see, your
that
soul
sucked,
again,
dude.
because
that
she
really sucked.
chopped my eye out. And he's like, but hey, I'm alive. And that was that episode. It was kind of a sadder ending, because like, the sister is still betraying them, and
she'll probably have to fight her again. But maybe
I want them to expand on some of these stories so
I'm
bad.
saying,
I want to know how that one
ended.
ends too.
Yeah, it's like, oh shoot, oh well, dang. Like
it ended, but there was cliffhanger.
Yeah, a lot of them did. It was just like they left them open, not necessarily like a cliffhanger, but just really open. Like, that could be like, that was definitely, all of these were pretty much pilots. Pilot episodes. But yeah, really just beautiful looking episode. Like other than the first episode, this is probably like maybe my second favorite in terms of animation, dude. I love what they did with like the lines. Everything looked hand drawn.
Yeah.
When I know it's not, but, or maybe it is. I don't know. But like the way they kind of, it reminded me of, well, it was I think it was the same. No, it wasn't. But it reminded me of the TOB1 episode, the animation.
Oh, yeah. I didn't think it was nearly as like cartoony looking as that, but like I think that Lop herself did look like that.
Yeah,
but a lot of animation tends to look like that sometimes.
Yeah, it was good. Like,
especially with like little cute characters like a little bunny, which was an interesting like race that they brought into the Star Wars universe that we haven't seen before.
Yeah, I mean,
there's a shit ton of alien races out there, and I like whenever they come up with new ideas.
Yeah, that makes sense.
And it's not the same old like Twi'leks and fucking
yeah, the same old one. It's like
and shit.
Yeah.
Groggans and stuff. I don't know. But moving on, the last episode, episode 9, is called Akakiri. And this episode was pretty good. It's high up on my list.
Yeah. I might actually put it up a little bit higher. Like, the more I think about it, the more I'm like, ooh, yeah, like, okay, yeah.
It was also animated by Science Saru. But it's a different animation style now.
Yeah.
The animation in this one kind of reminded me of I don't know why, but it kind of reminded me of like Code Lyoko for some reason.
Huh. I could see that. With like the way the characters look, the character designs. Yeah.
Yeah, especially the way that the female character looks in the screenshot of the episode. That's she's really what reminds me of it more than him.
Code Lyoko.
But awesome. This one was like pretty much just a straight up, betrayal story. This one gave me very. I don't know if you felt like this, but this one gave me very Anakin and Obi-Wan vibes.
Yeah. Honestly, yeah. It definitely, bro. It might as well have been like Anakin's betrayal, because it's almost like it kind of plays the exact same way.
Yeah.
He has a vision, this vision that's been like tormenting him like forever, and he goes out to like meet up with his girl, which is forbidden, right?
Yep.
And then, or he like tries to help her. What is it? It's like there was something happening at like her estate or something.
So basically what he kept seeing was this person in a mask stumbling around and then getting sliced by a lightsaber.
Yeah.
And so throughout the episode, this guy and girl are traveling together in there, talking about their relationship and really just character developing. Mm-hmm. And at the end, they fight this guy who is like a big, huge buff dude. And he's got like pretty long hair. I think it's white hair. And no, it's blonde. And he's pretty powerful, right?
Mm-hmm.
And basically he starts spitting some shit at the main protagonist, the guy, that like he can protect this person from dying if he joins the dark side. And he's like, nah, there's no way. And so he starts fighting this dude, and as he goes down, he starts to just like swing at these grunts that is sent out by the guy, and one is just stumbling towards him, and as he slices it, it goes into first person, and you see that it's his vision that he just killed the person that he's been seeing getting killed over and over and over.
Mm-hmm.
And he takes off her mask, and it's the woman he's been traveling with the whole time.
Yeah.
And his true love, and he just killed her. And so the guy that he was fighting was like, I can save her with the dark side.
Yeah.
She can come back to life if you join me at my side. And he thinks about it for a minute, and he kind of hesitates, and then he bows down and he says, please help me save her, my master. And he brings her back to life. And as she wakes up, what did you do? What have you done? And I did what I had to.
Bro,
and he gets up and he goes and enjoys the dark side. Yeah. And I was like, oh, dude. Oh,
that was crazy, dude.
Like, it's like such a good gesture for turning to the dark side. Like,
Yeah.
Like he saved your life, but like, he's also an evil asshole now.
Oh, it's just like, I mean, I like how they hinted at that whenever he had like the flashback. It is a really, really cool moment where he had a flashback to him and his master, and he was like, you're going back? And he's like, yeah. And he was talking to him about his vision, and he was like, if you go over there, you'll be tempted, and at that point I can't save you, or I can't help you. And he was like, yeah, I know, but, and he was like, well, it's like, it's your destiny or whatever. And then that was at that part when he flashed back to reality, or like back to the present moment, when he was like, no, it's not, like, it's not destiny. But then it really was, because he ended up acting out his vision that he's been having, which is like exactly what happened with Anakin and Padme. How he had the vision of her dying, and in like turning to the dark side and everything that he did, like, she ended up dying anyway, but in this case he was able to save her, but at what cost type thing. And just for clarification, I know it didn't look like it at all, but that was Masago, the blonde haired.
Yeah, Masago or Masago or whatever.
Yeah. It was a she.
Oh, was it?
Yeah.
Oh man. Okay, so like, I didn't get that from the Japanese voice actor. The Japanese.
Oh, you
voice
watched
actor
the Japanese first?
Yeah.
Oh, see, I watched it in dub first.
See, I watched it in sub first because I was like, this is an anime.
See, I watched the sub or dub because I wanted to like look at it and see all the cool stuff.
And be able to see everything and not have to read the whole time.
Yeah. But no, I and you know, we might lose people for this, but yeah, like definitely like looking at her, and then whenever
they made her really manly. I'll say that,
which is cool. You know, that's a-okay.
Nah, like, man, buff chicks can dominate me.
You know,
I'm telling y'all, buff ladies, you listening? Strap on, come over.
Oh my gosh, dude.
Oh man.
Man.
But yeah, I thought this was very similar to the Anakin Obi-Wan story.
Yeah,
like,
dude.
Or more specifically, the Anakin Padme story.
Yeah.
Because he basically betrays his whole like core beliefs and values for a chick.
Yeah, which is, bro,
pretty much what Anakin did.
Exactly.
Except like Palpatine seduced him for like months. This guy seduced him after he killed his like girlfriend, and he was like, "Oh shit, no."
Yeah, no, hold up. But I think I really like. I'm gonna have to watch it again, but I like that moment where he said, you know, it's your destiny, and he said, no, it's not.
And he stands up and he ends up killing her.
But it ends up being like the death. I don't know. That was just a really cool moment. Like I'm gonna have to like look into it more to see like the themes of it. But like, that was, like I said, the more I think about it, like it's going up on my list. So you asked me what my list was beforehand. So as of right now, this is before I watch it again. But my list goes in order from top to bottom: 1, 5, 3, 9, 6, 7, 8, 4, 2.
And that's from your favorite to least favorite?
Yeah.
Okay. So mine, as it stands right now, is 7, 9, 5, 3, 1, 8, 6, and then 2.
Yeah. 2, I swear, man. We're just a band! Bro, I was like, no! Come on, this is Star Wars,
it was just a lighthearted little, like, it kind of felt like it was comedic write-off, you know?
Yeah.
But, I think that about wraps it up there on Star Wars Visions.
Yeah. Well, overall, what would you say if you had to give it a rating? What would you?
Man, I'm biased. I'm giving it a 9 out of 10. The only reason I'm giving it a 9 is because of episode 2.
Episode 2?
Yeah, episode 2.
Really?
Tatooine Rhapsody.
Oh. Okay, I see. I thought you. My bad. I heard that as like you're giving it a 9, a high rating because of 2, and I was like, wait, but no, you're saying you're giving it.
You
knocked off the point because of.
Yeah.
I got you. Yeah.
So I'm saying that's 9 out of 10.
Same. Yeah. It was like a really good like first outing, and I like you said before, like I really hope that they decide to like expand on it, like even if they decide
if it's like, an episode a season.
Yeah, or just even if they decide like, you know what, we're gonna do 9 completely different unique episodes with 9 other studios, I'd be okay with it. I just want to see more of this stuff.
I hope they do a second season.
Yeah. Now, actually, oddly enough, though, they're actually going to be doing a novel, a sequel to the first episode, Ronin.
Really?
Yeah. It's Star Wars.
So what if that's what it's setting it up for? They're about to start doing a whole bunch of comics of each of the characters they built here, and they're about to like start writing manga, and then we'll actually get full animes of them later.
Maybe. I hope so.
That'd be sick.
Yeah. Yeah, it's going to be a visual novel.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. So plenty of pictures.
Man. I think now we're gonna move on to our anime section.
Yeah, we should before this turns into
before it turns into a 4-hour one. No.
Yeah.
But both of these topics are kind of the same thing. They both have to do with the Cowboy Bebop live action. But we got the opening of the show, what the opening title sequence is going to look like. Mm-hmm. And we found out that Cowboy Bebop is an expansion on the series. It's not a remake. So it's not going to be a live action of the same story. They're going to be adding on. Apparently, Spike Spiegel at the end of Cowboy Bebop does not die. He just collapses because he's so tired from the fight.
Yeah,
and because of his injuries.
That's new. I was like, what?
I definitely thought that was dead and closed. Like, I thought that was done. And so, how do you feel about that? How do you feel like about them adding on to it?
I mean, I don't know. From what I read, I didn't see anything that said it was like gonna be afterward. But I do think they might. Like, I don't know if it'll end. It probably won't end the same way, you know?
Yeah.
It might not be like, or they literally just said it's not going to be 1-to-1, which I think is kind of a good thing. And I guess it makes like a lot of sense because like, even with like, because you don't see Ed.
Yeah.
Well, at least not right now. We don't know. Hopefully.
I hope that Ed comes into the show because I loved Ed.
But, you know, if
again,
Ed's not.
At the end, Ed leaves, doesn't he?
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah, so maybe that's why. Oh shit.
I mean, if that. Like, if they decide not to have Ed in there, then that already says okay, like, or that's already like a sign that it's not 1-to-1. But I could definitely see them not going in the direction that the original went off of, where he collapses. Like, they might Spike and Faye might come up and like try to like rescue him.
You mean Jet?
Yeah, my bad. Yeah, Jet might come and like, you know, say like, hey, like, how's he doing? And then like he might get up or something, and we might get like a definite like he was alive, you know?
Yeah, instead of just maybe that's where it'll pick up, is right where the anime left off. Either that, or he'll be back in their ship and they'll be flying away and they'll be like, "Ooh, Spike, you're pretty hurt. You need to stay still, man." And he's gonna be like, "Oh shit, I got the fuck beat out of me, man. God, I'm hurting so bad. Oh, he kicked my ass. He stabbed me a few times too. Fuck." Or something. I don't know. But but like, I do have to say though, from watching the opening credits, man, that gave me some nostalgia. I'm
glad that they decided to stick with it, because we were talking about that. We are like, what are they gonna do with it? And I think it's cool that they just didn't change it.
Original thing,
yeah. They just did it shot for shot. For me though, and this is just me, it was a little bit cringy at some parts, just because like
some of the stuff that looks like it's gonna go on looks kind of like,
it looked fan made.
CGI is bad or not, but it just looks weird.
It looked kind of fan made how it's just how they translated, like him running. That was like that was kind of weird, like the way that looked.
Into the different in like the different like squares or whatever.
That was kind of weird, but like I applaud them for like sticking with it. Like, they didn't do some weird, you know, like Netflix super serious, you know, they're keeping it true like to the original. So I really applaud them for that, even if some parts might look kind of like weird and might not translate that well. Yeah, wacky. I'm like, okay, like they're going for it, and like it's a lot better than like Death Note. Where like Death Note was trying to be like super serious and like, you know, super live action. With this, it's like they're definitely like they're staying true to the feel of it. So I hope that translate through the entirety of the series, you know. So, but yeah, a good step in the right direction, I think. And man, I'm very curious to see how this is going to go down, and if it's
I am too.
If it's I don't know, like
I wish they would color the main character's hair green like Spike, though.
Yeah,
I also wish they would move. I also wish that they would move Jet's sideburns up a little bit more on his face, like his face was in the anime.
Yeah, yeah.
A bit, man. And then the fucking horny internet is taking over and is bitching because the fucking the I can't remember what the girl's name is, but like she wore like a really really like slutty skimpy outfit.
Faye.
Yeah, Faye. She wore like a really really like very revealing outfit in the anime because like anime are horny people. Horn Dog make anime, which is why most people think anime weird. But anyways, horny internet is losing their mind because Faye is a lot more covered up in this live action show.
Bro. I mean,
and it was like, I mean, dude? What actor was actually going to go out there in a fucking G-string and just like run around and do action shots? Like, what the fuck?
I mean, yeah. I mean, well, she wasn't running around in a G-string, but still, like,
no,
it was
she
like
definitely got a G-string on. Faye, if you look at her character design, there's a G-string definitely coming out of her shorts.
Okay, well, yeah, I guess now that you say that, yeah. But yeah, there's no way that would have flown. But I think they did a good job.
Well, I think it would have flown. I just think that the actress herself was uncomfortable with that, and I don't think that they should have forced her to do that in any means or way or whatever.
Yeah, but it's like, again,
which obviously they aren't, but you know, like I'm just saying, like I think horny internet's being a little stupid.
Yeah, like, but what did you expect though? Did you really?
Did you really expect her to be almost butt ass naked on screen?
Especially in 2021? Hell no, dude. You know, like
no.
Yeah, no, bro. That would not have. No. But she still looks good. Yeah, she still looks.
Yeah. She still looks like she's gonna be badass. I like that she stuck with the original hairstyle though. That like bob or whatever. Yeah. So you can still tell it's Faye. It's just Faye is a little more covered up.
Yeah, but it, like the color scheme is like the same. Like, it works really well. I think it. I honestly, this is gonna sound like a white. I'm gonna sound like a white knight, but kind of looks a little bit better.
Yeah.
You know, than the original, because the original was like just like definitely like, hey,
it was just a sexualized character. That's all that like she was meant for at the beginning.
Yeah,
it was fan service.
Yeah, like look, bro, look at the picture, the Cowboy Bebop poster of them, on like the little hype thing.
Yeah.
And look at Faye's design. That crap is a mess. It just like if you look at Spike's outfit and if you look at Jet's outfit and even Ed's outfit, like there's just like a theme. You know, there's structure, but like Faye's is just like, give her a freaking give her a tied up shirt, give her everying that just
make
looks
a G-string
good.
literally be popping out of her shorts.
Yeah, just throw a bunch of just sexual stuff at her design.
She was just fan service. That's all she was. And then they actually developed her and made her kind of badass.
Yeah, she's definitely developed, but I think like it'll be easier to like, appreciate that. Unless they decide to, just completely
ignore that part of her.
Yeah. There's a good
they focus more on Spike. Now, I'll tell you this, in the opening I noticed something. I noticed at the end of the live action opening, we see Spike point a gun at some white-haired man with a sword as he's about to get it plunged into him.
Yeah. That was
I think that's him. I think that means that they both survived that fight.
Yeah.
Vicious was his name, right?
Yeah. That was a really cool shot. That was a really, really cool shot in the
that was a good choice by Netflix.
Yeah. Most definitely. I'm looking forward to seeing like
I'm just looking forward to this thing coming out so we can stop talking about it.
Yeah.
Like what it's gonna be and we can see what it's gonna be.
Yeah.
Because
I think
Netflix does that cool thing that like a lot of places don't. Like I was actually shocked that they dropped every single episode of Visions on day one. But like Netflix will drop this whole series on day one.
Yeah. I'm so glad that they freaking did that crap.
Me too, dude, because if I had to wait week by week for 15 minutes, I would have been pissed. I would have been so fucking pissed. I would have been so mad. That was a good move on Disney.
I can't stand that crap, man.
I can't either. Like, it's okay when they're hour episodes, or like, I don't even want to say 30 minutes. If I'm waiting weeks for 30-minute episodes, I'm pissed about that too.
Yeah,
like,
right.
An hour, like, that's fine. That's like basically waiting a week for a movie, right?
Yeah,
And
a week for That's what drove me crazy about all of like the Marvel stuff. It's like waiting week to week. It's like, you know.
Yeah. I'm glad I haven't watched any of it yet.
Yep.
I've got some binging to do.
Yeah, you're lucky you get to binge, bro. I am happy for you.
But I think that about wraps up this episode, man. It's been a rather long one.
Very long.
It is almost 3 hours. Jeez.
Yeah.
If you're still here, thanks for sticking through it with us.
Yeah.
There was a lot to talk about. Star Wars is, something that we explained on the first day that we're very passionate about and that we could talk all day about. So.
Yeah, most definitely. But yeah, again, just appreciate you guys sticking with us, and we will see you guys in the next one.
Bye-bye.
See ya.